The following podcast may be explicit. Shedcast presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. In Episode 3, we wrap up the published adventure for Star Wars Age of Rebellion beginner game. We immediately follow the gameplay session with our review, recorded a few days later. Enjoy the podcast. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, we join our heroes on the verdant world of Onderon, where they are deep in the jungle at a listening post built by Moff Dardano. The rebels are taking over this base, this listening post, on the verdant world of Onderon. They have found their way deeper into the outpost, fighting off both guards and finding Imperial Stormtrooper outfits. They now find themselves outside of the control center, facing 3 Stormtroopers with more on the way.
They're dead.
All right, and that's where we're going to pick it up this time. Yeah. Hi, and welcome back to the Shed for Adventures from the Shed. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Also on iTunes, Facebook, Twitter, Stitcher Radio, and
Google Plus,
and other places. We're going to go around the table and say hi, starting with Mickie. Mike.
Mike.
Oh. Mikey.
We never start
This
with
is Cantaloupe. Eating a cantaloupe. Playing Tendar, Taco, the Mon Calamari engineer, and he is just delightful. I love him.
He is a really delightful character.
He is.
It's a pleasure to play with.
He is.
Yeah. Hey, this is Short Stuff. I am playing Kale, the human soldier, and so far I've been taking some names.
Yeah, you definitely stabbed that guy in the cervix.
You totally serviced him.
JJ here playing Vendry. I have managed to lock people into their room. That's about it. I am the good guy parent or the bad guy parent.
You're like the nanny.
Go to your room.
Go to your room.
Bad Stormtrooper. You spank them?
I don't know. It might bruise my hand.
You locked them in their room with their guns, though, which was interesting.
Yeah, our guns.
Are they going to... I wonder if they're going to
Boys
break
and
through.
their guns.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Nah.
Hi, everyone. This is Mickie. I'm playing Zal. Z-A-L. Can everybody hear me now? There we go. Val,
Valerie.
also known as Edna.
Nice.
All right, Joe.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
That's it.
Then that's me. Then you said Joe, so that must be me.
That's you.
I am the GM or Game Master for this Star Wars Age of Rebellion. Gosh, I don't think I've said it right the first time.
That's all right. I just called my short stuff instead of short round.
You did.
More evil
all right, Star Wars Age of Rebellion beginner game. We are on our third session here, third play session, and we are in Encounter 5, which is on page 21 for anyone following along. And I will read the narrative text for the beginning of it again, and we'll kick it off right from there. So, turning the corner, you spot the sleek white armor of 3 stormtroopers. These troopers are standing with their backs to the door that leads into the control center. You can also hear the clacking boots of a second patrol walking down a nearby corridor just out of sight. Getting past these guards won't be easy, but you've got your orders. All right, we already had initiative rolled. I believe Mickey's got that.
Zal is first. She's going to throw an AP grenade at the 3 that are right there.
All right.
Nice and clustered for.
You go, girl.
Clusterfuck. All right, here we go.
We're going to make this. Gosh,
4 minutes. 4 minutes, gentlemen.
What?
4 minutes until the first.
All right. We're going.
It's a new record.
We're going to say this is medium range, so that's going to be 2 purple dice.
2 purple dice.
It needs to be short range. If it's AP grenade.
It's short range, yeah.
Oh, it only goes short?
Yeah.
So then using it at medium range adds 1 difficulty die.
But we're right there.
I mean, you can.
But
move
you
up
want to be
bit.
on opposite sides of the room. It's something you're going to throw a grenade at. So I'm going to say you're on
okay,
opposite
so we're
sides
in the
of
hallway.
Yes.
Couldn't I just kind of like lob it around the corner? Whoop. No.
Can she move up to a
If you
space
use
where
a
it's short?
maneuver to get there, and then throw the grenade around the corner.
And I can take
Take cover. move up, take cover, take the 2 strain to do it, and then...
Yeah, I get. Yeah, if described that way, yes.
Move
take
up,
2 strain.
move over, move up, throw it, take cover.
Yes.
Take
I would
2
say
strain?
Yes, because you're doing an extra move, an extra maneuver at that time.
All right, let's do it that way.
Let's do that.
What, what? Dun, dun, dun. All right, so I've rolled 3 green, 2 purple, 1 yellow. I've got,
Yeller.
it looks like
No successes.
no I've got 1 success,
But
which
four,
cancels
yeah.
out the threat.
You know what?
All right,
we need
cancels
to
out
do
the
this,
failure.
Though. We need to do this, though, because you went up there, it's going to be short range. So take both of those purple out of there and just roll one of them again.
Yeah, there we go.
Because it should be 1 purple. It came out the same.
Oh, this blows.
So
All right,
nothing,
so
no
it is
successes.
not
no
a
success,
a lot
but
of
I've got a lot of
advantages.
advantage.
All right,
Yes, you have 4 advantage.
here's the deal. You can get up there. I'm trying to think of a good way to put this. When you went to pull the pin on the grenade, maybe it got stuck. But because of your advantages, you cannot suffer that strain. And you just got yourself up there and backed away from the corner.
So I did not use those strain.
And the grenade is also not used.
So I got a dud.
Yes, or
Fucking
at least so
you
far.
just didn't
Second
pull it out.
rate.
She's got
the pin is
4
slightly
advantages.
different. Yeah.
Can she get a boost die for the next person?
If I use, what did I just use? I used 2 of them. So yeah, you still have 2 advantage that you could use for something.
So the
And
next
yes,
person
you
gets a
could
boost
get
die
a boost die to the next attack against the target.
to do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Boost
That was
die.
a lot of advantages.
So who's next?
That would be me.
All right, Vendry.
Dude, AP grenade fizzled.
Well,
Fizzled.
It actually,
Like a
she
limp-
never got the pin out.
You didn't
in
get the
time.
pin out.
Yeah.
Second rate piece of shit off planet.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Could I try the
mean.
same thing, maybe? Like,
Oh, yeah.
have her pass the grenade to me?
There you go. You see if you can figure out how to work
We'll
it.
do the same thing, and you'll do the 2 strain to get that extra stuff. You're interacting with her and what have you. Yes.
Okay.
Let's do
Did
that.
you have a grenade to give him?
I
the
just
one
have
that didn't
one.
work?
The one that didn't work.
Okay.
It was just a pin problem.
Yeah. She had performance anxiety.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do we got?
4 successes net.
4
And?
successes net, but no threat, no advantage.
That's good.
Did you roll the extra
Okay.
boost?
So,
So
I
you
did
got
not.
that.
I did not roll the boost.
Oh, do that then. What'd you get? Another
Advantage.
advantage.
One
All right,
advantage.
so you have a success,
Wait, do you have
Lots
3
of
advantage?
success.
Oh, no,
right?
yep.
So you have a success,
Yep.
and
So that's
you
good.
also have advantage on that. So what
No,
is
but
your success?
all these successes give a lot of extra damage.
That's what I want to find out. What does that do with the AP grenade that you're using?
All right, so I'm going
I
to
assume
deal.
AP is anti-personnel. in
Correct.
this
Yep.
case, yeah.
20.
I'm going to deal 20 points of damage. Pierce 3.
Right.
Okay. Now, the stormtroopers, as a group, had 5 soak and 15 hit points, which means you did just
As a
what
group.
you needed. Yes.
Booyah!
So the grenade goes off, and all 3 of the stormtroopers do their Star Wars overemphasized jump in the air and then fall onto the ground, and there's all kinds of clacking and stuff.
Do we hear the other ones running towards us?
Yes. We will go. Who's up next in the initiative?
Mike.
Taco.
All right, so you guys are on that corridor. So yeah, go ahead and put the other 3 on this corridor over. Yeah, where you're looking there, Mickey. So towards the bottom of the map for us is the way it looks. So they're in that corridor, running towards you from where the garage is in that direction, and you guys are at the end of the hall there. You get to take 1 action. I'm just going to leave them in the same initiative spot. So go ahead and take a turn before they get to.
All right, here's what I want to do, and it might be too complicated for one move, but I would like to go cut through the barracks and get behind them, and then shoot from this corner to shoot at them. Since I have knowledge of the map of the base now that I
Yep.
took that off of a computer,
Yep.
I know that I can get behind them if I go right there.
But you also probably know that's too far to go in 1 turn and still be able to do it.
Well,
but
that's
you could
what I
come up
thought.
behind them for the next
So,
turn.
I
As
will
far as
move-
distance goes,
Over here, and then
Yeah.
Where
go
you
after
going,
it.
calamari?
I'll get the back.
The fight's this way.
all right. So I'm looking at it based on. I don't think the map is to scale overall, because if you figure that briefing room that we had talked about said it would hold 30 people. So
Yep.
that briefing room and then the whole size of everything. So you're probably going 150, 200 feet.
Sure.
All right, and you get most of that distance in that turn. So
I'm cool with that.
The way you did it is good. Now,
Do
what
you
I
wanna
would
take
say,
the 2 strain to do an extra
well,
move action?
he can do the maneuver and then use his action as another maneuver. So that would probably let him run all the way there,
Okay.
and then at the beginning of the next turn, he
I'm
could
cool
do
with
something.
doing that for now.
Okay. You'll at least cut him off from running away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what they want
Crossfire.
to do. All right.
That was
Now,
a
are they
cool
next?
game.
Are they next?
I'm-
Stormtroopers?
Yeah.
I'm next.
No.
Because I was tied with Mike.
Kale's
right?
next.
Kale's
yeah.
next.
Go ahead.
Right.
Kale. Stormtroopers are last.
Stormtroopers
Wow.
are last.
All right, Kale.
I could just toss another AP grenade on them, but
You sure
that's not
can.
much fun for the players at home.
Boom.
No?
You got your
Boom.
rifle.
Whatever you
though.
want to do.
Click, boom.
I'm just going to... Since I know that the funky squid dude is coming around behind them,
Funky squid.
I'm going to take my
calamari.
brawny, beautiful self and just pop around the corner,
Are you like a model?
flex my guns, and then blast with a heavy blaster rifle the dude in front. Although I know it's
Okay.
a minion group, I'm aiming at the dude in front.
You're shooting at the stormtroopers.
Yes,
Definitely.
and so that is going to be
Yeah.
1, 2,
So you're going to flex your guns and shoot your
I'm going
gun.
to flex my guns, which is not an extra move. It's just an
what's-
incidental.
What's the range?
And
And the
this is
range...
a medium range.
It's going to be
bubble.
medium range.
Right, I can shoot long,
Right.
but it's going to go
So
medium
2
range.
purples.
So 2 purples with my 2 yellows and green.
And hold on, I want to make one of those purples a red.
Oh, you bastard.
Ooh.
I am using a dark side point for this.
We need to start using some of the...
Can I flip yours right back and make it purple again?
Nah.
No, you can make the other green a yellow.
Yeah,
That'd be the only thing you could do.
that's what you can do.
Yeah. I'm not too worried. I mean, Mike's going to...
I'll mop up.
He's going to mop them up,
All right.
yeah.
Just for the people at home, we could have AP grenade them and been done, but it's fun to
Well,
fight.
only if you hit, though.
If we
That's
hit.
true.
She tried once
That's
and it
true.
didn't work.
Yeah, thanks.
But I'm
for
brawny and
reminding me.
beautiful, and it would have happened. I'm Kale.
Hair blowing in the wind.
Kale
Yes.
chips. Oh, no.
It's like a romance
Ah,
novel.
scheisse.
Oh, crap.
He actually failed.
I- I failed, yeah.
You
Fail
failed
with a threat.
Fail with a threat.
Nice.
Golly.
You had to use that dark
He hops
side.
around the corner, the thing goes click, and then they go.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Suffer a strain.
I'm a
and,
strain.
and you are stuck right there.
Stuck on
And then the
me.
stormtroopers get to
unfortunately,
go.
it's their
Yay.
turn.
Got a feeling down deep
With
in-
Kale staring down the barrel.
righty.
I got a lot of stim packs. Can you use stim
Staring
packs?
down
Do you have to use them on your turn?
You
It
use
is
it
an
as
action.
a
No,
maneuver.
a maneuver, right? Maneuver.
For what?
The stim
To
pack
use a
was.
stim pack. Yep.
It's a
It's a
maneuver.
Maneuver.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, stormtroopers have a blaster
Taco
rifle,
Sushi better help me out here.
Taco sushi. I like
Taco
it.
sushi.
and they are using the same range. So I'm going
It's a
to
lot
do
of
that.
dice there.
And I'm going to use a dark side point to upgrade my last green to another yellow. So I'll use Mickey's. There we go. Ta-da! There we go. There we go. You ready? You ready for this?
Kurt's about to die.
Let's see.
Oh,
Look at that.
shit, that's a triumph.
Which means it can't be canceled out. So it's a success with just a success because that cancels that out.
That cancels
Yes.
the threat. But
It does
you've got
cancel
2
that.
failures here.
But you cannot cancel out the success from the damn it, triumph. Yes.
Damn it, Jim!
Damn it, Jim.
So just one success.
Yes.
So I'm just standing there waiting
That's
for it. I'm like,
enough.
oh, just...
Just be gentle. It's my first time.
9 damage.
Ooh.
9 damage?
9 damage.
It's a good thing I'm so brawny.
You're all soaky.
Minus 9 equals...
Well, you have 5 soak.
Remember your 5
Oh,
soak.
5 soak.
Yeah.
So 4.
That is awesome.
That is 4.
Down to 9.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now who's up next? We're going to go to back to
Top
the
of the
beginning.
order, that would be Zal. So,
I think
you're,
that was the first time you got your name right.
I know,
It
right?
could be.
Everybody take a moment and recognize. that she
It's
got it
almost
right.
like the time where Kurt could not get
Oh my god,
Algernon.
Alginor?
it is awesome.
Algae?
Alginate.
Aglinor?
Agli.
No, that was the right name.
Yeah.
Oh, was that?
Aglinor was right.
It took you a solid 2 months to get that.
Yeah.
She's
And I think
gonna-
the first time he got it right, the character wasn't even
Wasn't
in the
there.
game. Yeah.
She's gonna take a knee right there at that corner, aim and
Aim.
shoot using her heavy blaster pistol.
Nice.
Or I am going to do that. And you know what? I'm going to use one of these light side points.
Ooh, go for it. So
Eat it.
remember to grab your boost die as
I'm
well
going to do a
for
boost
your aiming.
die. All right, so I get to roll a boost die, a yellow.
Wait, hang on. Just for
3
my
green.
edification, How did she moved, aimed?
Oh
no,
my
she was
gosh.
already up here at the corner.
All right, and
You
taking
just
a knee
used
does
a
not count as standing or
multisyllabic word.
No,
standing
she
up.
just knee
Aim
is
is a
like
maneuver.
flavor text.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I aimed and I shot.
All right.
So I don't think you had the correct number of dice.
I do. It's 3 green, 1
Uh-huh.
yellow, plus
and
a
you
boost.
flipped it.
So give me the
this is
boost.
now yellow. No,
Oh.
aim gives you the boost, honey.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not just getting on your knees.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, a girl's
You
got to
get
do
something
that.
out of it.
A girl's got to do that every once in a while.
It's a boost.
That's how we get diamonds.
You know what I love about our gaming group? In most
What?
groups, you got to worry about being sensitive to the girl.
Yeah.
This group,
You
totally
know-
the opposite.
You know what I love? We got that and you saying edification all within like 2 minutes of each
Wow.
other.
That
We are
was
really
4
educated
successes
and
two
crude at the
advantages.
same time.
We're educated.
Although she didn't roll any.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't roll any threat. Or,
Yeah, you need to do
difficulty.
that. What are you shooting
2.
with?
My heavy blaster pistol.
Which has a range of medium, which is what
Medium.
this is.
Okay, so you're good then. Yep.
So
So-
2.
Yep.
Yep. Sorry. Yep. Yep.
So you take 2 of
successes.
those out.
Failures. All right.
No, that's all right.
So what do we
2
end up with?
successes.
So
then?
2
And
successes
two
and 2
advantages.
advantage.
Joe's watch just
Okay,
reminded
that's
me to
good.
do some squats.
So your base damage
Kurt's
is
taking a
7
dump in the shed.
plus 2 more.
So that's 9 points of damage.
So you're going to do 9.
I needed 1 more advantage to do a critical injury.
Correct.
Damn it.
9
Damn it,
points.
Jim.
So this is where it's actually useful because they have a soak of 5, so they're only going to take 4 now. Oh gosh, I can't. I'm trying to do the add thing, but I've already written it as subtraction. Damn it! All right, got it.
Math hard.
Live math is hard. That's still my favorite quote from the beginning when we started playing.
Uh huh.
All right, so who's up next?
That would be
That would
me.
be-
That's JJ.
I will also.
Go for it, Verdi.
I'm actually
Ventry.
going to move around into the control center.
Oh, hold on. You can't. I don't know if you can do that yet. Give me a second.
Okay. And then I'll just, instead of taking a knee, I'll shoot over her head from the corner.
Wait, how tall am I? I'm just kidding.
All right, I can tell
Like
you
5'5".
when you get there, it is a solid blast door,
Okay. So yeah, I'll just.
so you can't go in yet.
She's on her knees, Revolutionary Civil War style. The musketeer on the knee.
Oh yeah,
I'm,
she's
I'm over her
cramming
shoulder.
her ramrod down the musket barrel right
Yep.
now.
Make sure you
and
leave it up
I'm going
first.
to I'm going to skull fuck her from behind.
Great.
Okay, and fire my laser.
All right, so that's going to make this a little more difficult.
People at home who are listening week to week, you can tell how long we've been drinking by how much profanity there is.
Jesus, man. That would hurt even me.
Episode title, that would hurt even me.
Write that down. I like it. Oh, gosh.
So, what weapon are you using?
It is a blaster rifle.
All right, so you're good at range, so you've got 2. Now, I want one of the purples to be a red. I'm going to use a dark side point.
Man, we're going to have a lot of light
Son, yeah.
side points.
Oh, you can just leave it once it's all light side. You can leave it there, and I can't mess with you. And if it was all dark side, you couldn't mess with me. What do we end up with?
I have
successes.
4 successes and 2 threat.
4 success and 2 threat. Okay,
That means extra damage.
so you are going to give me a total number of damage.
I am giving you 13.
Okay, wow, they're still alive. Good. So they're going to take 9.
And what are you doing? My
No,
2
hold
threat?
on. They're going to take 8. With the 2 threat, I'm going to make the next attack against the stormtroopers have a setback die.
Okay,
Whoever's attacking next.
that would be
Technically,
Mike.
the next
Taco.
action against the stormtroopers suffers a setback die.
so Taco will be
Come on,
doing the
calamari.
setback
Say,
die.
Taco,
All right.
you
Bring
got to
up
add
the
a
rear.
setback
I
die.
got to my spot right behind him. I'm going to aim.
Oh, yeah.
at the back
if
of
you
their
want
head.
on the map, just put your counter around the corner. There you go. So what type of weapon do you have?
I have the blaster pistol.
So if you use your maneuver to get up behind them, I'll let you get into short range. Short range is just a few steps away
That sounds good.
because you need to be just a few steps away to use
All right.
it as short range.
So
Yeah,
In
this should
which
be an
case, it'll be
advantage
1
attack.
purple.
Now, is there any kind of boost since he's behind them and
So I
they're not
flanked around
expecting
him.
them?
He's not approaching stealthily. They'll hear him by the time he gets there.
And you need a setback
I didn't know
dice.
if they were distracted.
Do you want to
from
use a
me.
light side point?
Sure.
There you go. Yeah, if they weren't
So what did that
already
do? That
on
changed the
guard,
green to a yellow?
Because he already's rolling a setback, guys. Oh,
All right. That's
Nice.
very nice.
Those.
Right there, that dice right there cancels both of those out.
So we have 2 successes.
all right,
So do
dealing
your
a total
damage.
So 8 damage.
all right. You take out with the exact number. You take out the stormtrooper resistance is now done. Those 3 are gone.
Yeah.
So during the fight, this one fell, that one fell, and you just took out the last one with a shot to the back of the neck.
That's how I do.
You weren't running away.
Nope.
Okay.
You were setting up a trap.
And Vendry,
It's a trap.
Vendry over at the door. You hear, or this is what happens next, because we are now we are moving on to encounter number 6. With the guards dispatched, the way to the control center is now clear. As you approach the solid blast door, a nervous voice crackles through the comm on the door. Theta Squad, this is the control room. What's going on out there? Report.
I would
you
like
deceive
to
'em?
say...
I'm going to see which one this fits into. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibilities. You are going for number 6, I'm sure.
So when I say rebels were here, we have taken
we
care
had a
of them,
blaster
sir?
rifle malfunction.
Yeah. Do you want to say...
You go ahead. I'm just pointing out. Someone actually picked something that's almost in here.
You want
Go
to say
ahead.
blaster rifle malfunction? I was going to say rebels were here, but we've taken care of them.
I like
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, that one's
Rebels have infiltrated a base. Let us in so we can see if we can identify one of the other ones. I don't know.
No, say we've taken care
We've
of
taken
them.
care of them, so open up the door.
Open up
Yeah,
the
so
door.
when you're ready to communicate back, somebody's going to press the button on the wall and say something. So
Yeah.
do that when you're ready. In the meantime, you guys can just blah, 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 blah. Right. Go ahead.
I mean, that one sounds pretty good. And you're the deceptive one, so you can
Yeah.
sound sort of like a stormtrooper. They all have the same voice, so.
That's true. Yeah, I will press the button on the door and say, rebels try to infiltrate the base. Let us in.
We've taken care of them.
We've taken care of them. Let us in.
Let us in.
To report.
Okay.
Report.
And Kurt should be the only one sort of back because we're all in
We're all in
Stormtroop.
Stormtrooper.
All right. So you have now, this is deception versus discipline.
Yeah.
And your opposition is 1 red and 2 purple.
Ooh, boy.
That's a lot.
They actually have the dice listed for each one. So
What were our other choices?
Why is that so hard?
Why is it?
because
Let's do,
they
like the
know
blast
they're
door
from the
front.
time that
Use the
you
light.
guys cut the first cable, they've known there's something wrong.
Okay.
So everyone they have had stormtroopers
What were our
posted
other-
at the door.
What were our other choices?
Well, let's see how this one works. Because you have these other choices
We can
still
still
if
do
this
it
doesn't
if he
work,
fails.
right?
Okay.
Especially if there isn't a lot of threat here. Let's see. What do we got?
It's all right.
All right, so nope.
Nope.
No
This is a
success.
failure here.
A failure.
And then, so 1 failure, that's it.
One failure. What is the threat and advantage?
No threat or advantage.
It's
That's
canceled
one
out.
failure.
Canceled.
Everything canceled
All
out.
right. Let me get back. All right. So you say that, and the guy says, "I don't recognize your voice. Who is this?" And now you have other options still.
Okay.
However you want to handle it.
Can we hack the door?
Can we just go through deception and be like, this is Steve.
No.
We had lunch last
Apparently, this door can't be hacked according to the book. So,
All right.
We're
Or
gonna
you could say,
stay
sorry,
Is
sir, I'm
there
a
any
new recruit.
vents
I've
that
been
they're
on-
not telling us about?
Are there any vents that they're not? Yes, actually, there are. The PCs might notice there's another ventilation shaft in the corridor, and that it likely leads into the command center.
I would like to go in that vent.
It is an average athletics or mechanics check, and that is to remove the grate and clamber inside and make their way inside. What? Some of the verbiage in here is horrible. The sentence says,
All right.
the PCs can remove the grate, clamber inside, and make their way inside.
Mechanics is what I
Inside the
do.
control
Yeah,
center.
but they need that at the end.
Yeah.
Right. What do we got?
All right. So,
No.
that
That is a failure
it's
with
actually a failure.
3 advantage.
Yeah.
All right, so because you had advantage, I'm going to say you don't mess it up. It's just you couldn't get the grate
So
off.
athletics check then.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't I try next?
Yeah, anybody else, athletics or
Yeah,
mechanics?
I've got
I'll try.
mechanics.
I got athletics.
Let Edna do it.
Go, Edna.
Yeah,
Get it, girl.
Meanwhile,
What's the
meanwhile
difficulty?
I'm going to stay on the comms with him. Like,
I'm sure you could
this
work
is
this
Steve. We just
screwdriver.
had the
Steve.
we just had the cheese and ham sandwiches over in the kitchen. I talked to you.
Okay.
So
right.
is it one yellow, one
So
green?
you get a little banter back and forth
if
for
you
a half a minute
upgraded
or so.
that one.
Let's
Did you do mechanical?
I did.
Okay,
Let her
yeah.
do
So that's
this one.
the yellow and green.
Now let her roll
Yeah.
it, and then
now?
you can do it if
Two.
she misses.
Right.
Right. So
Close.
now let's see. The mechanics, you had 2 purple, right?
Oh,
Another failure.
Another one failure with
Yeah.
one advantage.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Okay.
have a rank in athletics or whatever you're trying?
Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah.
No,
we-
she has mechanical.
She's
If
You only
trying
get
to
one, you only
skill.
get one green, one yellow.
So
Huh?
because
I mean, I
because
failed with
of
2.
the net advantage, I'm going to say you didn't break it still. If somebody comes up with a net of a threat, then you're going to bust it to where you can't get it open.
I'll try again. This is interesting because I have 1 rank in athletics, but I get a yellow and 2 greens.
And JJ,
Do you
as
have
one of the
2? Yep.
times
Good. Roll.
the guy's pushing the button to talk to you in the background,
Where did all our
you
light side
faintly
points
hear
go?
somebody say, "What's that noise coming from
We
the
used
vent?"
them, sort of.
What you got?
Those cancel.
there we go.
Got it.
Yeah. All right.
Tell me what
1
you got.
success with 1 advantage net.
All right, so you open up
Right.
the
Sorry.
grate on the vent. Now everybody can go through there, but of course only one
I'm
person
going
can
to
be
stay.
in the lead.
I'm going to stay
Okay.
and keep talking to them.
Okay.
I will be in the lead
Yeah. Sure.
because
All right.
I did the hard work.
Okay. So you
And you're a
get.
big, beautiful.
Now,
man.
do I need to stealth check as I go along here, or can I just move?
Do you want them not to hear you?
I would prefer that they not.
Then try a stealth check.
I'm not very stealthy, but we're going
And
to give it
who
a...
else is going down there, or is he going alone to start?
No, I would go back with him. I've got 2
Yeah,
frag
I think
grenades,
I'd follow
just so you know.
third.
All right. So
Well,
I would
I've
like
got an AP grenade.
I would like a stealth check from each of the active people.
Do we know who's in there yet?
And let
What-
me give you a number here. I gotta see who's inside there. You are going to be against. It was willpower that we said against
Willpower
stealth.
or perception?
Well, hold on. Does he have perception? No, he does not. So your check is against 3 purple.
Jeez.
Good lord.
Well, this is against the smart guy.
Well, can I?
You sure can.
Can I plead that JJ's pressing the button
Yep.
is distracting them to get them down from 3 purple to 2 purple?
Or at least give them
I
boost
second
dice.
that.
No, but you can use a light side point to turn one of your green to yellow.
No.
No, wait. How about...
I'll use
do
a
we know
dark
who's-
side then to
do we know
change
how
one of the
many-
purple to red.
Do you know how many people are in there?
Right now, you don't know how many.
All right, screw this stealth stuff. I'm throwing an AP grenade in the room.
Well, there's a grade at the other end.
Yeah.
We gotta get
We're going to have to
straight
get
up.
through.
You got to
Whether
get
they know
in
we're
there.
coming or
You,
not.
you have to get to the end before you can do something at the end.
All right, let's just try the stealth and see what happens.
This guy has a willpower of 3, which means you are opposing 3 purple dice.
Oh, I am so awesomely stealthy.
Nice.
I'm neither with 2 threats.
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
failed.
Yeah.
I got it.
Technically, not a success, so it's a failure, right?
Right.
Okay.
I've got
These
2
are gone with
successes.
these advantages. I got 2 successes against 2 threats.
Okay.
2 successes, no threats.
Okay.
No.
So
Yeah, because these
Okay.
cancel those.
take 1 strain for Kale, and you had
2 successes, no threats.
okay. You had fail, but
I had, it was even,
Yeah.
and then I had, I think,
Advantage.
2. I
You had 1 advantage.
Okay, then I had 1 advantage.
okay. All right, because it's a failure, we won't do anything with that yet.
If it makes any difference, I was going 3rd.
So I succeeded and got the end off first.
I had already
Great.
played it earlier that they could hear noises because you guys kept banging at the grate trying to open it. One guy was wondering what the noise was in the grate. It would be a little more obvious that somebody was crawling in there if they made a lot of noise. Excuse me. But you got through okay. You get to the end, looking out the ventilation shaft, you can see... Let me see if I can actually tell you what's in there at this point. Inside is...
Emperor Palpatine is getting his feet rubbed by Darth Vader.
Yeah. Inside
A little to the left.
is...
Oh, Dorothy, you do it so good. You know all the right spots.
Use the force.
I'm just going to talk here.
Yeah,
because
please do,
otherwise,
because
it doesn't sound so fun.
They don't have something in here to accommodate what you're doing, so I have to paraphrase what's going on here.
Yeah.
And I'll try it. First off, you don't need to throw a grenade. Let me read this so you don't need to. Hold on to the grenade.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to push your way into the control center, your blaster drawn, and you find yourself in a room full of computer screens and startled operators. When they see your weapon, probably your blaster, right? Mm-hmm. Not your
by his weapon. He calls
yeah.
My bad.
They raise their hands in surrender. Sweeping the room, you see various lesser officers, but no lieutenant. You cautiously pick your way through the room, taking the officer's sidearms and looking for where the commanding officer might have gone. As you take one of the officer's pistols, he shudders slightly and his eyes flick instinctively to the large desk in the corner of the room. Moving to the... I hate playing people's characters for them, but this is the way the narrative goes. Moving to the desk, you and your comrades, because you're all in there now...
well, at least 3 of us.
Shove it aside, revealing a loose panel, and beneath that, a tunnel that leads to the ground beneath the base. The long, narrow path extends into the darkness in the direction of the garage. You wheel on the surrendering officers. Before you can even raise your voice in anger, one of them shudders again and blurts out a confession. Lieutenant Serap's headed to the comm station a few clicks from here. He's probably sending a message to the MOF that Whisper Base has fallen. The other officers in the room turn to look darkly at the man who snapped. You need to intercept Lieutenant Seraph before he can report in.
Crap.
Dun dun.
I'll yell
Speeder bike time, baby.
to Vendry. Vendry, get to the garage! Go!
Now that is the end of Encounter 6. We move on to Encounter 7, labeled The Chase. Dun dun.
Speeder
It's a
bike.
chase!
I want to chase in the ATST.
Yeah, you do.
I know, right?
The thing is, I think they were powered down.
Well, you power move.
Oh, he
Power
stole
back
the battery from the
Oh,
shuttle.
hold on.
So.
No, I might be wrong here. All right. So you guys are going to give chase. Like it or not, you
Yeah.
are. Okay.
Yep. We like it.
I'll take a speeder
We like
bike.
it a lot.
So you're
Speeder
racing
bike's
after the devious Lieutenant Seraph. When you reach the garage, you find that one of the 2 ATST walkers is gone, but the other walker and the 8 functional 74-ZB speeder bikes in the garage are operational and practically ready to go.
All right. Yeah. I'll run over and start trying to unlock the hatch since I noticed it was locked earlier.
Let's do a... I'm going to see if they specifically
The hatch
have
is
it.
still locked?
Well,
I mean,
he told
left.
me earlier when I tried to get into it that it was locked.
This gray paragraph right here, you're astute.
Astute.
It says, astute PCs might remember from the first scene that the ATSD in the bay is locked.
Well, go to
So
the
you
pegboard
can
on
try
the
and
wall
hotwire
take
the
keys off.
walker with an easy mechanics check, or the robot, the droid, Tor, is in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what can he help me do?
Can Tor unlock it?
Are you going to ask him?
Tor, please
Tor.
unlock it.
If you freed him from its restraining bolt, it can open and start the ATST for you.
Heck yeah.
Jump start that, buddy.
Now, here's the trick. We have 4 players. The ATST can hold 3.
I was taking a bike.
Speeder
He's taking a bike. So we
Yeah.
got 2 on the speeder bike.
Heck
Actually,
You're the pilot.
I'll be in the ATST,
Kurt knows.
right?
Yeah.
I am
ride
so
that
on
bikes.
that bike, baby.
let's see if we can do it this way. Once
One of the only
PC
good
have
parts of
chosen their
Jedi.
vehicle,
And after all those little Ewoks.
Yeah. The Ewoks are cute.
all
I took
right,
this
let's
and this.
put something on this.
Man, I would look the coolest on a speeder bike.
Piloting.
It's a tree!
I like to think that the helmet never fit, so he probably just has gotten rid of it. So he has stormtrooper uniform, but no helmet because he just dropped it in the hallway.
Ba-bow.
Is that Blue's Clues? All
Do we
right,
know how to ride speeder bikes?
everyone does, right? I mean,
You just
I mean, I've got
kickstart it.
It's like riding a
I've got
regular bike.
no skill in piloting.
It's
all right, so here we
just
go.
like a
We
bike.
got a little bit.
There's a new bit of narrative to read for this part here now. With a whir and a clank, your vehicle rushes out of the hangar, pursuing the path that Lieutenant Seraph has left behind him. The lieutenant clearly favored speed over subtlety, but you can still see his ATST in the distance tromping forward through the jungle. Suddenly, an alert flares to life on your vehicle, warning that a group of objects is moving in quickly from behind. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
The signal indicates that they are Imperial, likely sent by Seraph to cover his retreat. With a shriek, a pack of speeder bikes carrying scout troopers comes tearing past, firing a salvo of blaster bolts at your craft. Crafts. Let's see. All right, so the attacking speeder bikes inflict minimal harm on their first pass. Each vehicle controlled by one or more PCs suffers one system strain, which its controller should note. You guys, I don't think, have this equipment on your character sheet. You might want to take a look just for kicks, maybe on the last page, if there's anything about a speeder bike or...
No, sir.
No, okay. So let me give you a couple numbers to deal with. Speeder bike, system strain, 3. Hull trauma, 2. Armor, 0. Speed, 3. Handling, +1. We have all of the same stats for the ATST, whoever's controlling that. System strain is 12. Hull trauma is 15. Armor is 3. Speed is 2. And handling is -1.
We just took a -1.
-1 to system strain.
Yep, system strain. Every vehicle has a 1 system strain now.
All right,
It
so
suffers
who's on the
one.
speeder bike? Because
Us two.
you guys are taking speeder bikes?
Yeah.
And now you all also want to know that the weapon on the speeder bike is gunnery skill, and its damage is 4.
And the damage for the ATST?
ATST is also gunnery. The damage is 5.
Well, that doesn't.
Now,
seem
this
right.
is damage against other big things. If you get hit by a gun from a vehicle, you're just dead, right? So you're not. If you're shooting at something else, you're shooting at another vehicle. So that's 4 damage against a vehicle, not 4 damage against a person. It's death to a person.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
so
And
the
it actually has a
ATST, does
little
it
note.
require only one pilot to both drive it and shoot it?
In this case, we're going to say maybe. Let me read what it says here first. As a forward-mounted twin heavy blaster cannon,
Those things don't seem that fast in the movies.
they're not.
They're not.
Yeah,
Speed 2.
I mean,
The speeder bike's
bikes
faster
are only
than that.
3, though.
Yeah. That doesn't seem right.
Nah.
they're
It's okay.
quick, but they're not
Well,
that
it also
fast.
seems like their damage should be way higher than ours. We're 4 and they're 5.
Yeah.
So in this, let me just give
That
you a
would've made
little
us
bit of
faster
the
and giving them more damage.
a little bit of what they call for the vehicle scale weapons. So the vehicle weapons are much more potent than personal armaments, but they're also harder to use on small targets. In this scenario, an attack from a personal scale weapon cannot harm a vehicle. So you can't shoot your blaster and mess up a speeder bike. Attack from a vehicle weapon that hits a character inflicts damage as normal and also inflicts 1 critical injury. Bad guys die on a critical injury. You guys don't die, but it hurts.
And we have to keep track of them.
But hitting a character with a vehicle weapon requires a hard gunnery check. That's 3 purple. So that's if you're targeting a character. If you're targeting another vehicle, it doesn't do the same.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
And I think we
so-
kind of may have some of the...
Rolling cool?
So we have gunner, engineer, and target, or pilot, I'm sorry. And this is for the ATST. So the gunner attacks and aims. The engineer does damage control as an action, healing the vehicle.
I'm not in the
Right, so
ATS.
if
Why
you only
wouldn't
have
be,
2
though?
people, then you're going to
'Cause
be
I'm
a
riding a
pilot
bike.
and a gunner.
Because we screwed it up.
Right. Pilot.
Or we're super awesome.
The pilot is a
awesome.
move, just regular maneuver, or evasive maneuvers. You just go erratic, and that makes the difficulty die of someone shooting at you go from a purple to a red if you're taking evasive maneuvers. And you can also stay on target. And if you stay on target, keeping the vehicle steady and following a predictable path, anybody on it can upgrade a ability die to a proficiency die. So, for example,
yellow.
if you pilot the vehicle and stay on target, he gets a green to a yellow on a shot as the gunner.
Okay. So she'll be piloting, I'll be gunning.
Yeah.
But they're probably also easier to hit, right? If they're not taking evasive maneuvers.
Correct.
Okay.
So you and I need to be messing up some people.
Now,
or
Go after the
Character
bikes.
on speeder bikes, a lot shorter. You can attack with a vehicle weapon. You can aim. You can shortcut, which is you're trying to reach or escape an enemy by weaving between trees, etc. That's when you're going towards another vehicle and you do opposing piloting checks. And this, you guys want to do this. It can happen on both, the ATST and the speeder bikes. And then you have regular move and evasive maneuvers. That's all you can do on the speeder bike.
Are we just going for the ATST, or are we going to mess with the?
You guys
I-
got to take out
I'm gonna
the
take off the speeder
carrying
bikes.
force, yeah.
All right.
All right. So we rolling cool to start.
Now, let's see. Yeah, we are going to do initiative, but let's see what's on the other side of the map. I don't know if there's something we can use or not on the other side. What do
It
we got?
appears that...
Yeah, so we got the whole jungle thing there. Maybe we can use that as a placeholder type of thing.
Hey, look, there's the access shaft that we were looking for earlier.
And you know, it never said to flip the map over. At least I didn't see it. So you're
here's
headed
Whisper
here.
Base.
The guy is going to the comm tower. We know
Comm
this.
tower.
Yep. So you guys are racing through here.
You know what? I want to check out the ship wreckage first.
You got a big.
Awesome. Now, what I want to see, the last thing I need to find is how long or how many turns or what have you that he wins or not. 6 rounds. We have 6 rounds. And I'm just going to say you guys know based on speed that it's going to take a certain amount of time. And that translates into game terms as we have 6 rounds to stop him, to disable his vehicle or whatever. You need to stop him from sending his message at the comm station. All right, so we'll start with initiative.
Cool check.
Yeah.
Cool, man,
What
cool.
do these guys even have? They ain't cool. All right, and if it's not cool,
3 successes,
it's presence,
1
I
advantage.
believe.
Yep. 4 advantages.
4 advantage.
Triumph with 2 advantage.
So you're first.
No, he's
No,
first.
Triumph always
Oh,
first.
Triumph's first.
Then me. Probably.
Then me.
I have 1 success for the lieutenant.
So.
So
Him.
Vendry, Taco.
Yep. Vendry, Taco, bad guys.
Well, no.
Kale.
They don't have any successes. And then Kale. Or,
And what about your
Sal.
speeder
So
bikes?
the speeder bikes are no successes, 1 advantage.
And speeder
So
bikes
she
are
has
last.
2 advantage, so she...
So they're last.
Okay. And that's Scout Trooper Speeder Bike Pilot. Write the whole thing out.
You got SB.
SB, silent
Are
bus.
we sure we want to mess with them and not just go
No,
take it
yep,
down?
we definitely want
Well, they'll be shooting at you. That's the
will,
idea.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so let's start with the
We have
first
no armor.
round. Do
okay.
we have?
I
We do. We
feel like
have
1 hit,
So,
we're
like,
done.
let's.
No, we got some hold.
I don't remember if they said how many there were. Give me a second. They're going to be treated as a minion. So let's just use 2 of them out there because those 2 are chasing down speeder bikes. And then we have this one for the bad guy. And one of them's a bad guy and one of them's you. So you guys pick. And there you go. And we had they can put your character tokens on top of those speeder bikes.
In case you're wondering at home,
We're putting out.
we're not using full minis and not like Pathfinder with the vertical cardboard. Here we got these cool flat discs with nice artwork of the
And I
characters.
think this would be better if we were
and
on
enemies.
a actual hex grid
Yeah.
or something.
But it's
Yeah.
cool. They're cool tokens.
Although we're not like doing movement. So.
Right. We're just counting turns at this point, but it gives us a visual
Yeah.
of how to deal with it.
Is this the bad guys or is that us?
That's
Bad
just
guys.
Bad guys.
You
We're
guys are
on the
on...
bikes.
Gotcha.
Your character token is on
Didn't
top
they
of
come
your
from behind
speeder
us?
bike. They did, but
Well,
they
they're
flew
around.
in front of you.
Gotcha.
All right, so they are
Je
trying,
comprends.
and really the way this will work each time is it's just going to be a constant flow. He is pedal to the metal straight ahead. You guys need to catch him within 6 rounds. In the meantime, the other speeder bikes are going to be, trying to come around and shoot at you and stop you from catching him. And I believe he is. I know his vehicle is going to be able to shoot back, so we're just going to say he's at least got a gunner, or he is the gunner, because they have a gunnery skill for him. Yeah. So the lieutenant will be the gunner on that.
All right. Who's up first?
We are ready.
Vendry.
There you go.
I'm going to attempt to use my gunnery skill to knock out one of these speeder bikes.
Okay. And they are treated as minions. So what we're going to say is there are, I think I need to say there are 4 of them. Give me a moment here just to make sure.
Yep, there are. I remember that.
Okay. So then Mike said yes, I don't need to read it. 4. There are 4 speeder bikes. And go.
What's the difficulty?
What's the difficulty?
Oh, crap. You are shooting at them. You're attacking with a vehicle weapon. In this encounter, all attacks to hit ATST walkers and speeder bikes are average. 2 purple.
So 2 purple.
When a vehicle's weapon deals damage, that damage is reduced by the target craft's armor.
Okay.
The damage is then applied as hull trauma, so it's soak. The vehicle's armor is soak, and hull trauma is hit points.
All right.
And you're shooting at which one? Sorry.
A speeder bike.
We're like
One
one
of the
hit
speeder
dead.
bikes. Go.
Well, we'll see.
Yep. That's a 2 success, 1 disadvantage.
Okay,
one
so
threat.
we'll suffer
One
one
threat.
One threat.
strain.
To myself.
Actually, we'll do it as system strain. I think. I don't see why not. Yeah, the system strain against the ATST.
That would kill me quick, just so you know.
But
so
System
that's
strain.
5
you?
5 points of damage to the speeder bike.
One of the speeder bikes.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh hey,
dead.
they have 5 armor.
Done.
The whole minion group has 5.
Yeah. Well,
so their speeder bikes have 0
no, hold
armor.
on, I'm counting it wrong. I counted the speeder bike pilot, not the speeder bikes themselves. Let's see. So, oh my gosh. So if I'm going to treat them as minions, how do I do that?
I mean, it should blow them up because they don't have any armor.
But it's only 1 shot. It can't take out 4 of them.
No.
I
No,
mean, it
it's
would
just
take
gonna
out
take
the
one.
one.
Right.
The difficulty check to hit the pilot is harder, but it doesn't say anything about hitting the vehicle. All right, so what we're going
they
to do
had
then
0,
is
right?
I mean, they have.
since you shot it, we've seen the movie Return of the Jedi?
yeah.
Yeah, where the ATST shoots a speeder bike and boom, it's gone. One of them is gone.
Okay, but they're still have
They're
a
still
full of health.
they are still take a full turn. So you have reduced them by a little bit.
You might want to leave it. There's still 3 left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, who's up next?
Taco!
Taco sushi.
Taco.
So flying on my speeder bike,
Yep.
and I'm just gonna zap one of them. Pew pew.
Pew, pew. Go ahead. Average.
All right.
Average.
Pew, 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 pew.
Let's light side it.
You got a light side one?
Yeah.
We're in the dark.
In the dark.
Okay.
What you
There
got?
you go.
Got it, got
That's
it.
success.
Yep. Success. Yep. Success. That's it.
Success, nothing else.
All right.
So 4
so-
damage.
Yes. 4. Yes.
4
Please.
damage. That takes out another speeder bike.
So they're all gone?
No,
Well,
there's still 2.
2 are
Well,
gone.
for crying out loud.
There were 4.
Yeah. But they still have the same effectiveness until they are all gone.
Should I use the light side?
Up to you.
We're
Up
out.
to you. We have one more.
I mean, we get him back if he uses them, right?
That's
If
right.
he
At this
uses
point,
them.
let's just do it. We got to take him out. So what does that do? It goes.
Turns
Yeah,
your green to
green to
yellow.
yellow.
You got it.
All
Yep.
right, come on, baby,
Come on,
come
baby.
on, baby.
Let's do.
That's a success.
That's
Wait, we
good.
skipped the
Successes.
lieutenant.
That is good. 3 successes.
We skipped the
And those
lieutenant.
3 successes. No.
What?
na-
They're not listening
Yep.
to me. We
Yeah.
skipped
So
the
3
lieutenant.
successes.
All right. So he's going to get a shot then.
So I don't get any bonuses. I just take the 4
around
damage.
next time.
So another 4 damage to
Another
the
4
speeder
damage.
bikes.
Okay. So that's another one done.
And then the lieutenant can go.
All
It's
right. We'll
annoying
let
that
him
there's
go.
no additional damage if you get additional successes.
He is
Well,
now one
I
of the
mean-
things I did catch here is although all of the speeder bikes they are Where is it? They are at close range from the PCs when they start, but the lieutenant is at medium range. Yeah, there we go. So he has when he's shooting back, it's going to be at medium range now, which means I'm going to add another purple die to shoot back. His gunnery skill, he's just going to shoot at the other ATST.
You've got all dark side chips too, just so you know.
I know that's going to get good.
Chips.
So his gunnery skill is 3 green and a yellow, and I'm going to use a dark side point.
Would I lose a yellow die?
Like flip that
Did
over.
you
Thank
lose a
you.
yellow?
Yeah, you did.
And he is at medium range. So here's what we got. He can do what now? Those are the actions he can take. He can't aim. Okay, there we go.
You got it now?
I think so. No failure.
Oof.
Nice. So it's a success with no advantage or threat. So the shot goes back. The ATST does
5 points of damage,
5 damage.
and we have 15
And I
hull
have
armor.
no advantage, right? Damn it, no, I don't. With
You have the
advantage,
soap type
if you
thing?
have 2 advantage, by the way, the weapon can hit a second time automatically.
Oh,
It's
wow.
called linked.
Well, what about...
If
You
you
have
have 2
armor, though.
advantage,
So I had no advantage, but I had 3 successes.
doesn't matter. The damage from this is just flat because you're just shooting another.
So
thing.
what happens with you deal 5 damage to our 15 hull armor?
But we've got
Well,
3
yeah.
armor.
So
3
it
armor,
ends
okay.
up doing 2 damage.
Like what
So
I
you go
did.
to 13.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So next,
So who is
Now
that? That
it's
was Lieutenant.
Zal.
that was a lieutenant.
Zal.
Yeah.
Zal, she is going to be piloting and attempting to
Piloting.
move forward.
And moving forward. So,
So
that's a
are you
piloting.
Full
are you
steam ahead.
trying to catch up to him quicker?
Yeah.
So that would be taking the shortcut action. You are going to target him, and you make opposed piloting checks against him.
So what's his piloting
His
skill?
piloting is a yellow and 3 green.
This is
Kinda
my
cool.
piloting.
Edna's the
My
best
piloting is
pilot in
2
the galaxy.
2 yellow, 2 green.
So just make her roll 1 red and 4 purple,
Why?
because that's exactly what he has for skill.
Yeah,
Correct.
but I could just roll these, and
That's
whoever
fine.
has the successes, all right?
It's fun to roll more dice.
Mine as well.
this
Opposed
Uh-oh.
by
She
five.
has nothing but
Actually,
advantage.
hold on.
Only advantage.
We did this before. Opposing checks, page 15. It says to look there. Let me
Yeah,
look.
she
Give me a
has to
second.
roll 1 red and 3 purple.
So, for every ability die in the rival characters, a purple difficulty die. Yeah, so it is, yes. 3 red and 1 purple. You
No.
roll.
1 red, 3 purple.
Yeah, that too.
But it doesn't matter. She got nothing but.
Nothing but.
Although she
What
got
are the
nothing
chances
but
of that?
threats.
So
Yeah.
2 disadvantage.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 2 threat.
Okay, so what we're going to do there with the threat is the next attack against that ATST will have a, gosh, what the heck is it called again? The black one. Black die.
Setback.
Setback.
Back. You get set back. All right, who's up next?
SB.
Yeah, speeder bikes. There's 1
Speeder
left.
bikes.
Hey.
1 speeder bike.
They all attack the same anyway. Let's see. Gunnery. What do these guys have for gunnery?
Pew, pew.
Single pilot. Oh, this does matter because as a single pilot, he gets 3 green. As a group of 4, the full group of 4, it's 3 yellow. So that's
That does matter.
We did a good job then.
yeah. So
Culling
in
them
thinning
down.
them out, but I still succeeded
Bastard.
with 1 threat.
Who are you attacking?
It's just going to be whoever was closest. Who shot last between you two on the speeder bikes?
Kurt.
Kurt.
Yeah, so
Kale.
it'll be Kurt. You swung by and shot at him. He comes around, shoots back at you, and that is damage of 4.
4, and I have no armor. So I
Correct.
take 4 to my hull, which is 2, so I'm dead.
Well, the
Your
speeder,
speeder
bike is
bike's out of
destroyed.
control.
Right.
Or
So I'm on the ground.
Yep.
out of
Let's,
commission.
Shaking my fist.
Stay on
You
target.
bastard.
That's no fun. All right.
But she didn't
Yeah.
move very fast, so you could
Yeah.
probably run and catch up to the ATST.
Let's see.
You gonna do
More
a
of them back,
Legolas?
can't you?
Wrong universe. You gonna do a Legolas move and climb up?
Or I could do like Luke with the grappling hook and then put the grenade inside.
That too.
I wouldn't recommend a grenade.
Not
Is
us.
that,
I wouldn't recommend a grenade with us.
not with you, but with him.
Oh.
If I can
All right.
catch him.
So who's after
Vendry.
Vendry.
All right.
All right. I am going to attempt to shoot the last speeder bike.
Okay.
And since I'm not attacking the ATST, I do not get a setback die.
Right.
All right. What you got?
Wait, no.
You
that's-
still need to roll 2 purple, though.
Oh, poopy.
That
Oh, no
is a
success.
failure with 3 advantage.
Oh. All right. Has the ATST taken damage, yes?
Yes. Barely.
So let's use the advantage to get one of the damage back.
Okay. So
We'll do that. Did you turn your microphone off?
I did.
Okay. All right. So we'll do that, and
Wait, would that be system strain or
gonna-
whole trauma?
we're going to do it
Hull
as
trauma.
the hull trauma.
All right.
Whole trauma's like hit points on
Yeah.
these things.
I think is what I want to do. Yeah, because you can repair hull trauma or system strain, but we'll do the hull trauma.
All right.
Alrighty, and then
Taco.
All right.
Taco.
I'm going to try to take out that last speeder bike.
you're not gonna. That was the last one.
Did he? He didn't.
He didn't succeed.
Oh, he failed. All right, I shouldn't have marked that as dead. Then you go ahead and do that. Swing by.
You might
and-
want to use that
and
light side
pick up-
point for this. You got to get that dude dead.
Otherwise, he's just going to swing around and kill
All right.
him, probably.
I'm sitting on the ground there playing with
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Okay. I have
Success.
2 successes and 2 threats.
Yep.
All right. With that, we are going to suffer another. No, actually, we're going to do the same. It's going to be another setback die the next time somebody attacks the
So
ATST.
2
So there'll be
setback die?
2. Yeah.
But the speeder
Because
bikes
this
are
guy
dead.
needs to get away, and
Okay.
the damage is going to destroy that speeder bike because it
Okay.
does 4.
So it's just.
So now it's the lieutenant's turn.
Yep. You want to swing by and pick up your
Can
buddy?
I? Well, can
Yeah. I would love to.
To get everybody together.
although me being on your bike doesn't help. Can I get up with them and then be the engineer?
No.
No?
It will be moving too fast. You can't keep up on foot.
I'll
All right.
pick you up.
All right.
All right. So that'll happen. What's that? Who's after? Taco?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant. All right. He's going to take another shot back
Speeder bikes are dead.
at the ATST.
With setback.
And his gunnery again was a yellow and 3 green. And you hadn't gotten any closer, so I'm going to use the 3 purple still. What do we get here? I
A
have
whole bunch of failure.
Well, there's only 1 failure canceled out there.
Oh,
So he has 3 success.
Dang.
One
It is
success.
successful with 3 advantage.
3 advantage.
That's what we get. Oh, that's a shame because with 4 I could have got a critical. Oh well. However, with the 2 he can hit a second time, so it's going to deal 5 damage twice.
So 4 more damage to
Bastards.
hull.
Yeah, and that'll go. Each one hits armor, right? So it's not 10 total; it's 5 and 5. All right, so that's his shot, and they are. You see, at this point, he must have said something to the pilot because the ATST starts performing erratic maneuvers in that case.
Evasive maneuvers.
Yeah. In that direction. All right, who's up
Kale's
after
turn.
that?
I'm on the back
Kale's
of...
just riding on the back of
I'm
my
on the
bike.
back
Yep.
of...
So now it's Zal's turn.
So you guys
I can't throw a grenade at him or anything.
at him?
No, at the...
Haha.
Our
Right.
stuff doesn't damage it.
Right, but you guys are going to be able to speed up
And catch up.
faster than they can because you have 1 more speed. All right, so you're on the way.
We should have some kind of advantage, too, because I'm scouting out the scene for you and telling you where to go. Tree!
Or you're just backseat driving.
Yeah, and it's just pissing him off.
So
All
what,
right.
piloting?
I
Right?
have the biggest eyes.
Yeah,
in the world.
piloting. Let's see if you can catch up with him. What round are we on? Is anybody watching?
It's a tree!
This is our second full round.
Ooh, triumph.
Roll your
Well, the lieutenant has
3
gone twice, right?
Yeah, he's gone twice.
3
3
purple
purples.
and 1 red.
3 purple, 1 red.
Yep.
Wait, this is the one where we had the black.
This is only when you're attempting to shoot him.
I'm just piloting.
Okay.
Fucking bastards.
So that is a success.
Success.
Okay,
The triumph.
Because
With the
of the triumph.
nice.
They cancel out the threats, so it's just a success.
The
No,
triumph will cancel out one threat.
Right.
Yeah,
And
so that advantage cancels out that threat. That triumph cancels out
Exactly.
that. So
Okay.
it's just
Just
success.
It is just
two
success.
successes. Yep.
All right. So
Total.
so that'll be 5 damage.
No, this is her
piloting.
Pilot, that'll be
Her staying
faster.
on
so
target.
now instead of at medium range, you're closing to short vehicle range.
And this also means she stays on target,
Yep.
which means
Well, no, in this case, if you're trying to catch him, you're doing the shortcut action, not staying
Okay.
on target.
Okay, next.
Staying on target is just keeping it steady,
All right.
so that the
speeder bikes
gunner
are
would know
gone.
what to shoot at. Yep.
Vendry.
Vendry's at
Vendry.
All right. I will be attempting to shoot him
with
Okay,
the short
go
range.
for it.
short range, so 1 purple and then 1 setback.
Right.
Yeah, with the speeder bike, you can
2
catch
setbacks,
up to him.
actually.
It is 2 setbacks for the next attack.
They gained
against
another
him.
setback.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yep.
You want to use the light side?
It might be all right.
Actually, probably not worth it on this one.
No, not on this one.
I don't know about that.
Well, this one might be a lost cause, but the next one will be a good.
Let's see.
We're rolling.
Oh yeah,
What you
That
end up with.
is
we got it. Oh no, we didn't.
2
Well,
success.
there's no failures.
There's no failures
All right.
and no threat.
Is
2
that not-
success.
was that rolled?
No, this wasn't rolled.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
you should have another purple one in there.
No, you said we're short range, so it's only 1.
Every attack is average. 2 purple.
Oh,
for every
okay.
attack. It's only when the range increased that I
just more
was
threat.
adding a purple to
Okay.
it.
Still a success.
My fault.
Still
So
success.
2
just-
success, 1 threat.
Okay. So with that 1 threat, we are going to add a system strain onto the
2
Walker.
threat. I lied. 2 threat.
With 2 threat, then we're going to add another setback die to the next attack. All right. That's better. Anyway, but you got success, so you're going to deal 5 damage.
Yep.
This is the first it has gotten hit.
That's the first hit on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took out the speeder bikes first. I figured that would be easier to.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so it's me,
Yep.
and I'm going to take the speeder bike up there and
Go
zap
Taco.
it.
Go Taco.
Hopefully take its legs out from under it.
Go for it.
All right, so I roll 2 green, got 2 purple.
And then you hear over the comm links while I'm shooting. Damn it, Jim! We need an engineer.
Now, this is one of those things where, again, think of it from the perspective of the movies. A speeder bike would have to hit an ATST. If that was a one-on-one combat, the speeder bike would have to hit it 15 times before it dropped. So
And
each one is going to do 1 point of damage because it goes
I have
past the other.
absolutely nothing.
Wait, we don't do
Just
full?
completely canceled out, so it's just a failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next.
All right. Next is, after Taco is the lieutenant, he's going to train his guns on that speeder bike that just went by.
Wait,
and
what you were
pew,
just
pew,
saying,
pew.
Joe?
Well,
The ATSC only does 1 more damage than the speeder bike.
but the armor. The ATST has 3 armor, and the speeder bike does 4 damage. So you're only going to do 1 point each shot.
But they
It
only
has,
do 2.
It has 15 hull damage.
But if they only
Right.
do 2,
Yeah. So this is where everybody shoot at it.
if they don't
right?
hit every round, they can't get done in 6 rounds.
Pretty much. And then you have some more time after you get to the comm station. So there are 2 splits here. You're either stopping him from getting there, or you're stopping him once he gets there. You have 1 more shot if you don't kill him in the meantime.
Because the most you could do
So
is 12.
he is shooting back.
Have you tried
Plus
climbing
whatever we
in?
do.
And we are going to succeed. So we're going to do 5 damage to that speeder bike that you 2 are on.
You did
That's
damage?
Speeder
Speeder
bike.
bike is
Shut
dead.
down the speeder bike.
All right.
So you 2 are knocked off, falling.
See, my
you,
thing,
you
the
fall
thing,
like
I'm
Leia
confused
and
by
Luke.
is where does he have to do any kind of piloting skill? Because he's only ever using gunnery.
The piloting is when you're doing something specific. Right? So it's a move. And you're only rolling a piloting skill when you need to do the shortcut action.
Okay.
Actually, that may be the only thing. You have to be, there has to be a pilot on the bigger vehicle,
Okay.
right? But you're only
But-
rolling, and it's an opposed piloting check because you're trying to catch them, and they're not trying to let you catch them.
Fair enough.
That's it.
So he has
in
a
this,
pilot
that's
in
the
there
only
with him?
piloting skill.
He has a pilot in there with him?
Yeah, he would probably have a pilot, an engineer, and he's the gunner.
And the thing that bothers me too about this
Yeah.
encounter, so to speak, is ATSTs only have forward lasers. So he's running backwards, shooting back at us.
It does say it's forward-mounted twin heavy blaster cannons, but yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I'm like. How's he shooting back at us? Is he running backwards and going slower?
We'll say yes. Why not?
So he's
So it's
going
gonna take him
slower.
12
so it's
rounds
12
then to
rounds,
get
not 6.
No.
Can they swivel? They can't swivel
They
their head.
cannot
can't.
swivel.
They can
Well,
only
they had the little things on the side of their head that could point backwards.
And then there's no windows back there going
Yeah.
that way.
That's why he's not doing so great.
I don't know. He took
Who's
out
next?
2
He
speeder
took
bikes.
2 bikes, right?
So
Actually, it was
they
another
are
speeder bike that took you guys.
We're
they
down.
are knocked out. So
Yeah.
um,
Nice.
So it's Zal.
no, it's Lieutenant's turn now.
He just
Lieutenant
went.
He took out the speeder
so
bike.
yeah,
Yeah.
Zhao.
So I guess all I can do
No,
is
KO at first. What are you going to
I'm
do?
sitting on the back.
Yeah,
No, you're sitting on the ground now.
Yeah, you guys got shot down.
yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry. I stretched.
So
How far is he from the comm tower?
Right now, 2 more turns. He's going to reach it.
Can I
3 more, isn't it?
reach the
This is
comm
the
tower?
start of the 4th turn. 2 more.
No way, because I've gone twice.
Whereas I thought she was towards the top. All right,
No.
so
No.
we're in the 3rd turn still.
No,
Third
I'm
round.
the first one. So when I go again, it'll be the 3rd turn.
The lieutenant has shot 3 times now
I don't know how,
because
because
I did.
one was the speeder bike shooting.
No, but I went 3 times.
Yeah.
Did you miss a turn?
I don't
You
know.
may have missed a
No,
turn.
but you
Okay.
shot speeder bike.
I think you took out 2 speeder bikes and then you missed.
Okay.
So my turn, all I can do really is pilot,
Full
kind of
steam
stay the
ahead.
course.
Can we
You're trying to
pilot and
catch him.
pick up the engineer?
Can we do that? How
Say
far is
what
he?
again?
Can we pick
Can we
up the
pick up
engineer?
the engineer?
Yeah. Make a. Well, let me see. That would just be a move. So yeah, but he will get 1 distance away from you. So essentially, we can play it like this: you can go back and pick up both of them.
Well,
Maybe one can hang on to a leg or something, and then you will catch him when he arrives at the comm tower.
That sounds good.
All right, let's skip ahead to that.
Okay.
Okay. And now
I really didn't think that this encounter was very well thought out.
it's a weird way to do it because
ATSTs cannot fire backwards.
Yeah.
He also can't go that fast.
so now you get there just as he gets. You see, he runs inside and the doors are shut behind him, and there's 1 stormtrooper stationed outside.
We blast him with the ATST.
And he is there to operate the bunker's light and laser cannon.
Yeah, definitely shoot him with the ATSD.
Pew pew. Yeah, can we
He
shoot?
just
Can we shoot that door?
disappears.
You
turns
want to
into
shoot at
mist.
that? So you are now at the comm station,
Shoot it.
and the comms.
Comm tower.
Let me see. So there's a single light laser cannon, and this guy has gunnery skill, so he'll use that. So as you arrive there, what we'll do is you're in. There's 1 action that you guys will take, and if you don't kill him, he's going to shoot back at you. So,
Okay. So do we shoot the comm dish or do we shoot the gunnery station?
Comm dish.
No,
I can
just-
tell you it doesn't make that much of a difference. Oh, it does, because you can't do enough damage to hurt it. Unless you get a... No, you can't. The station itself has 5 armor.
Well, let's take out the guy and then run inside. 'Cause
Don't
I
we
think
want to
that's-
take out the dish?
that's
That way
def-
he can't get in contact
It's not
with
going to
anybody?
let us
the dish,
take out
the dish has 5 armor. So
No.
You can't do enough damage to destroy it with your vehicle.
But we can turn this guy into mist. So
Yeah,
can
JJ
you just
shoot.
bulldoze it?
Shooting him...
Can I step on it?
shooting a vehicle's weapon at a non-vehicle target is 3 purple. It's hard.
Can I step on the comm tower or like kind of ram
No.
it?
You cannot destroy it.
Can you step on the stormtrooper?
I could probably step on the storm.
And every round that goes by is another round that he's closer to making his communication.
all right. So
So what are we
JJ
doing?
Time
shoots him.
sensitive.
Well, we're all.
Yes, it's time sensitive.
So what are we doing?
So
We're
it's hard.
shooting him.
Well, if it's hard to hit him with the ATSD gun, why don't I pop out of the top with my
Well, I'm just gonna
roll
gonna
it.
fire on
Just
mine.
shoot.
So it's my
You-
turn.
All right.
I got a triumph.
All right, he's dead. That was easy. As long as you're successful,
He is
you
missed.
kill him. Yes, missed. Exactly. All right, so now, how are you going to get inside?
I'm going to
Hack the
hop off
computers.
and hack the door and run inside.
All right, so you have to break inside, and we are now in the second round since you've been there. And I'm trying to see if there's an easy way to tell you how to do that. We're going to do another computers
first
check.
round, right? But second person, first round.
I was the first person in this round. Yeah.
Right, but this is... So you guys arrived, and he's inside. At that point, that's when we started. So he has 6 rounds from the time he enters to destroy the bunker.
All right, so
Or
2
you
or 3.
guys have that much time to destroy it. Let's see. That's so interesting. They want you to destroy it, but they give you vehicles that can't have enough damage to actually destroy it. Go figure.
All right, so
Go ahead.
blast door, 2 or 3.
3. It's going to be a hard skill check to open it.
Fail.
Fail?
Fail. A lot of fails.
With what? Any advantage, threat? Well, how's that work out?
2 advantage.
Yeah.
All right. So because you failed with advantage, you don't break anything.
All right.
Okay.
Kale.
It just didn't open.
Kale. Wait, we skipped the
Go,
lieutenant.
Kale.
No, Lieutenant's now at the top
He's
of the order.
inside.
Yeah.
Are we inside?
No, we
No.
have to get
Nope.
inside.
You have to figure out how to, essentially, you have 6 rounds to either destroy the bunker, break inside, or find another clever solution to stop Sarah from sending his distress signal.
Sandbags are labeled on this map, so let's throw them in the comm dish. Because anything that's labeled is obviously important.
That's interesting. It does say sandbag. It's not on here, of course, but it does say it, yes.
Throw all the sandbags in there, bury the comm dish.
Is there wires going to the comm dish from the bunker? Can he just go over and cut the cables?
There are things like that, but what we're going to do is whoever the active player is going to decide what they're doing. We can all talk about it, but you're going to decide what you're doing, and then I'm going to give you a role to do it.
I mean, I'd like to try to do something to disable the dish directly because I don't have the
Okay.
computer stuff to get inside. Is there a...
So you want to do something mechanics then, is what I would say.
Yeah, or explosive. I've got an AP grenade. I've got a frag grenade. I've got...
The frag grenade might do
And
something,
it does 8 damage plus a little.
but 8 damage against the armor of a building is insignificant as far as the
Right.
game rules go where we are right now.
Let me see if I can do something. Let me do a perception check if I can to see if there's something mechanical I can damage.
All right, so here's what we'll do then. That would be your action, and you could then tell somebody else the results of what you find, and they could act on it.
Okay.
Or you could act next turn.
Average or easy or I'm just looking.
You're looking to see if you can disable something with the comm dish. Yes?
Yes.
All right, and we'll do it as... let's do this. What's better for you, perception or mechanics?
They're both stinky. They're both 2 greens.
Let's do it as mechanical then. You're going to do it. It's a you're looking for something you could break, right?
Okay.
So we'll do it as mechanical.
Do I have any
Difficulty.
purples?
Yes, and that's going to be. It's actually going to be. We'll say average because you're just looking to break something. What you
That
got?
is exactly even.
0.
All right, so you don't find anything.
All right.
Next,
All right, Zal.
Zal.
Al.
All right, so have we tried? We tried shooting. We tried disarming it.
Well, actually, that was part of what I was saying. You can't shoot it. You cannot deal enough damage to break it. However,
I
you
can-
might be able to do something.
I can blast the doors open, right?
No, they're blast
That's
doors.
a blast
The
door.
blast
Yeah.
door.
Blast doors don't get blasted.
Technically, the comm station has 5 armor. Dealing damage to it is not going to do it because you don't have anything that deals more than
You have
5
mechanics
building
still, right?
damage.
I have mechanics.
You
yeah.
could try hacking the door.
Will mechanics allow me to hack?
No, mechanics would allow you to look at the comm dish and see what could be broken on it to not let it send signals,
Yeah,
which is what we just covered.
What he just said.
yeah.
Go
so
for
you
it.
try it.
I'm on the wrong page. Espérate. Here we go. That looks
right.
better.
So you're going to use that skill with 2 opposing purple dice. And what do we got?
Fast load of nothing.
Nothing.
Fat load or nothing.
Again.
Another just wash. Okay, that's another fail. Nothing bad happens, but does that get us to the next round?
That gives us a start up next round, Lieutenant.
All right.
Guys.
Okay, and who's up?
Me.
Go for it. What you want to do? So you guys are just kind of like, what I can't figure it out, blah, 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 blah. Next.
Computers to try to hack into the door.
All right, let's do that. This is going to be hard. 3 purple. You guys still have a light point, too, don't
Do you want to use your light point?
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Put that last green to a yellow. And what do we end up with there?
We have 4 success
Good,
versus
1
failure
So
and
3
3
success.
a bunch of threat, though.
4 threat,
Okay.
5 threat,
All right, so
3 success, 5 threat,
the door opens, and
it shuts again and breaks my hand.
It opens. It shuts. It opens not far enough for you to get in, but you can see inside.
That's bullshit.
All right, so you can see inside the lieutenant and a couple of stormtroopers in there with him, and he's pushing buttons, and it looks like he's getting ready to send a signal.
I yell out,
AP
Kale,
grenade.
AP grenade.
Who's up next?
Taco.
Taco.
Since I'm standing beside the door, I'm just going to take my turn to... Well, I don't think I have any grenades left. I'll just shoot through that little hole.
Okay.
try
And
to
I
hit 'em.
specifically described it that way to make it a hard shot. So you're going to roll 3 purples.
Okay.
It's,
you want a
like
frag
you can
grenade?
see
I've
in there,
got
and
a
you're putting the
Are you
tip
gonna
of
make
your
one of them
weapon
red?
at it.
You can make one of them red?
Not yet.
Okay.
Good try, though. Right now, there are no light
2
side
success.
points.
2 success.
2
with 2
success,
threats.
2 threats. All right, what's the damage there?
6.
Because this
Plus
guy actually has some
2.
stats.
8.
8? Oh, he actually has a strain threshold. Wow, this first guy. I'm going to need a new piece of paper here. Let me flip this one over. And give me the total damage again.
8.
8. Okay, so 6 against that. Okay. Next.
That would be Kale.
Yep.
All right, Kale.
What you got?
AP grenade time.
All right.
If
This
I'm,
is,
am I in range? Short range?
you're going
up
to
to the
try
door.
and,
The door.
and push it through the door and
Right.
hope it works. It's
Right.
still going to be hard.
So I'm going to aim
Just lob it through
and
the door.
and
And you've got 3 purple against you.
Underhand.
Do I get
just
a
like bowling.
boost for an aim?
No, he has
No,
to
it's
just
a
push it
grenade.
through the little mail slot that's open right now.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
All right, so I can't get an aim for a grenade.
No.
Well, now I'm going to say in this case, not really, because
That's
you're
fine.
pushing it through this little hole.
Okay, and then I get 3. Yep.
Yeah. What you got?
Ay.
You're
Uh-oh.
all right.
Oh yeah,
Is that
2
still a
success.
success?
2 successes against 3
Nice.
threats.
Okay. All right. So the grenade goes in, and it will finish. Well, it will. What was it? Stun or frag? I can't
Six-
remember.
No,
Eight
This is
damage.
16 damage.
It'll...
Oh, that
and
was
like
an
pierces
AC
3
grenade.
armor.
It's
Yeah.
an AP
Okay.
grenade.
This is
So-
nasty.
That's going to take them out,
Yeah.
and you defeated him. So
Woo.
that's the end of encounter number 7, and I read to you with Lieutenant Serov out of the way. Whisper base is yours. Moff Dardano will eventually realize that his listening post is no longer active. Still, you've won a great victory today and a chance to prepare for the coming storm.
Woot, woot.
That was a close call.
Dun, dun.
Holy cow.
Da-da-da-da.
What would have happened if we didn't get done in 6 rounds? Did we just kind of keep the base? And then,
If you didn't get done in 6 rounds, you get Sarah's message. It's on its way to Moff Dardano, and your cover is blown. Still, you took Whisper Base, and you might even be able to hold it if you can withstand the Moff's counterstrike. Your life is about to get a lot more exciting.
And a Star Destroyer comes in and blows
Yeah,
up.
blow it up.
You see off in the distance in space this bright green light that approaches rapidly, and then you don't see anything.
Nope. And then we're gone.
You're gone.
interesting. You know, the only disappointing part about that last section was that there was no Wookiee cock.
No. Well, now there is. Well done, Kurt.
Well done.
Way to go.
sir.
All right. I think we're going to wrap this one up here.
Bye,
and
everybody.
Say bye.
And Wookie Cock.
A few days later, we recorded our review of Star Wars Age of Rebellion Beginner Game. The audio is a little different from normal as we recorded at the Stevens home with limited equipment. Now, on to our review.
Hi, and welcome to JJ's House for Adventures from the Shed. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com, at Facebook, iTunes, Twitter, Stitcher Radio, Google+, a bunch of places online. Make sure you go check us out.
Just search on Google.
And what?
Just search on Google.
We are also available at google.com or bing.com because it's not Google. But we are going to today take a little while and talk about our review of the Star Wars Age of Rebellion beginner game. We played this a few days ago, and we've had a little time to think it over, and we are going to give you our review of the game. But we're going to start going around the table this way and say hi.
Hey, it's Kurt Schumacher. Glad to be here tonight.
And Mike sitting across from Joe this time instead of beside him.
That's a whole new setup here tonight.
Yeah.
It's funky.
Yeah. This is JJ's house, and I am JJ, and I am the host of this show now because we're at my house, and I rule.
And Mickie is here in spirit.
Mickie is definitely here in spirit. And I'm Joe. What we want to do first, we're going to try and take the same format we did when we did our preview of the game. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is the physical stuff we received in the box, and we've spread it out on the table here. So just as a recap of it, we have the books that go along with it. So the adventure book, the rule book, then we also have the character folios, we have the map, and we have some counters, and we also have the dice. We actually don't have the dice on the table, but we remember what they're like. So let's talk first about some of the stuff we all use. For example, the map. What did we think about how the map worked in the game?
I thought that the map was really... The map and all the stuff had really nice art. However, my problem with the map came more with how the adventure was laid out, which to me they label all these things on the map and have a part where they want you to explore the base, and then half the things on the map don't have anything in it. So it sort of seems like almost lazy compared to the 5th edition starter set, where everything in the town had a person or a thing you could buy or an adventure or something that you could fight. Like, there wasn't really an excuse for them to not come up with 12 things for them to do.
And I would agree with that. As we were going through the adventure and we wanted to explore the base, it would have been really nice for the recreation room to say there is nothing in this except for a TV and some chairs or something like that. But it skipped some rooms completely, and it would have been nice to have some entry.
For example, my biggest problem with it was the not to scaleness of it. They gave you these great icons, but unless you had your own battle map prior to playing this game, you did not have a grid system to use, and I think that's a detractor.
Mm-hmm. Although with the long range of most of the weapons, the distance you were away from the enemies was sort of negligible.
I think the physical quality of the production is very good. I think it's one of the high points of this beginner game. I mean, when you open it up, the books look great. Artwork on the character sheets and everything's beautiful. There's a lot of good stuff there. The map itself is nice in that it's double-sided with two totally different maps, an interior of the base and then the surrounding exterior area, and it does look good. I share a lot of the same complaints about the structure of the adventure and the way it uses the map, and we can talk more about that. But I do think the physical quality of the layout of the beginner set is very nice.
Right, so let's move on then to what you guys had in front of you the whole time, the character folios. How do you think those worked?
I thought it was really cool that that they had the beginner, how you started, and then when you flip the page to level up, everything was changed, and it gave you options, and it always explained what the dice were, because to me the dice aren't as straightforward as I would want them to be, but they were still cool because they have nice little pictures on them.
No numbers. I get a kick out of that. No numbers on the dice.
But yeah, the character sheets are really nice. There's a ton going on that they could probably consolidate slightly, but I mean it's a lot of stuff for someone that wants to manage 83 different things.
They do a nice job of having labels, number labels for key parts. There's a 1 up next to characteristics, and if you go over to where the blue 1 is, it explains what characteristics are. Similarly, for soak, for example, which is a term I did not know, it's got a 3 next to it in blue, so I can go right over there. Oh, and here's a 2-sentence definition of soak. So that's really nice. It actually reminded me of kind of how the Pathfinder beginner box does their character sheet.
I just think of the old Palmolive commercial. You're soaking in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are a lot of skills, but they're easy to read and to use because there is a graphic for every skill, which dice you roll for your dice pool, which is really helpful. If I didn't have this in front of me, meaning if I were like a level 4 character, I have no idea if I'd be able to figure any of this out.
Right.
And I just don't know because I haven't played it. But like Mike said, it does a great job of giving you, here's your level 1 character sheet. Then when you level up, you literally turn the page and now you have a 2-page, here's your level 2 character sheet, and here's the choices you get to make, which is awesome. The question is, at the end of level 3, if you've done the extra stuff, I think it says you probably got enough XP to level up again. Well, how do you do that without...
You buy the...
Well, exactly.
Buy the book.
And then the question is, are you jumping into, I just don't know, learning a really complex rules-heavy system, with throwing on top of it a dice system that I think is very cool, but is not intuitive.
No.
There's just too many different dice for it to be totally intuitive.
I think it would be like an Apple product. When the Apple products first came out, they had a great design, great functionality, but they weren't intuitive until your brain just started clicking with it. So I think the dice eventually would be faster than rolling 10 dice 6 and then going 3, 9, 10, 11,
Agreed.
14. You can just look. Okay, I succeeded. There's 2 threat or whatever it may be. I think it is a faster dice system, and it helps with the flow of combat and the flow of skill challenges or whatever else. My thing is what happens when you level up. Like, I see almost a Dungeon World-esque problem where nothing really changes all that much as you progress in levels.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Looking at the character sheet, you could have 1 or 2 things change on the whole sheet, and that seems kind of minimal. Now, one thing I guess we don't know in the regular system for the Star Wars universe and Fantasy Flight is it based more on equipment? Like, do you get a better blaster? Do you get better this or that? And that could be
could
something.
those blasters give you proficiency die and that sort of thing?
Right, and I imagine that when you level up a skill, what happens is, one of your green die becomes a yellow die or something, or you get an additional die or something like that. But we're just not sure because we haven't done it. I like the die system, and I totally agree with JJ that I think it could become very intuitive and quick. And I know a lot of people who, from listening to podcasts and word of mouth, who really like the system and like the real game, whether they're playing Age of Empire or this. So there may be some awesome stuff there. Unfortunately, as I think we're going to discuss, I think the beginner game misses it on some key places.
And we just want to say hi to Mickie because she just came in. Say hi, Mickie.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, honey.
Yeah, Mike, do you want to continue talking about the dice?
So, I think that dice also might have been better if, Joe was as new to it as we were.
Oh, yeah.
So every time we had to roll the dice, he had to search in the book for, okay, what is this? What is the difficulty?
What can I do with it? Right.
So that was always a slow down thing. But I think if you played this for a couple months, you would pick up the dice really quickly, and then the GM could just make a snap judgment like this is a 2 purple, this is a 3 purple.
And I think the system they give on the back of the adventure book is actually just that. So is it simple, easy, average, hard, daunting, or formidable? And that's how many purple dice you go from 0 to 5. But when you're playing the pre-published adventure, to your point, Mike, that if there's a task to be done and that task has the specific dice in the book, you want to follow it. So we could just make stuff up and fit this chart, but it's not that simple when it's a pre-published adventure. So we try and match that. I'll say, though, just to recap, at least if I remember right, kick me if I'm wrong. Oh, don't kick me. Say it. I think there are 2 green, which are ability dice. There was 1 or 2 yellow? No, 3 green.
3 green,
3
2
green,
yellow.
2 yellow. That's proficiency dice. Those are the 2 you roll to determine success on any normal thing. And then for the difficulty or the challenge against it are difficulty dice. There are 3 purple ones, and challenge dice, 2 red ones.
1 red.
I think it was 1.
1 red. All right, see, I knew I'd be wrong. So that's good. And then those are the ones you roll against your normal roll. Things that add and subtract based on how the game's going are a boost die, which is like a sky blue color, and then a setback die, and that's a black die. And then the last one is a force die that we only rolled once to determine what our force pool was. Mm-hmm. But to me, it was a really cool set of dice. Mike mentioned earlier that they're neat. You get these symbols on them, and you've got, as JJ said, once you're in the groove and you know which symbols cancel each other out, it's going to be easier to move quickly.
Yeah, it was a steep learning curve because, with regular dice, there's numbers. You just add. Everybody, when playing an RPG, should be able to master simple arithmetic.
There are still some people who break out the calculator when they roll
This is
more
true.
than one die.
But there's no number to this. It's just either pass or fail with varying degrees of success.
Yeah.
I was curious, speaking about GM kind of judgment calls, you had to decide how many purple dice to roll. When we got, like, let's say a threat against us, so maybe we succeeded, but we had 2 threat in that. Was there in their guidance for what to do with that, or were you just making up some negative consequence?
So I was going through on the adventure book, which I have in front of me. It was page 13. And I'll show you here, Kurt. But what you can do with advantage and what you can do with threat. Essentially, the GM always determines what happens with threat, but the players can pick sometimes for advantage, and the GM could also pick. It depends on what that is.
Gotcha. So, like, I know a few times when we had 2 threats, you were saying, well, I'm going to add a setback die to the next roll. And it wasn't clear to me whether that was you making that up, being just cool game master, or whether that was part of the game, and it looks like it's part of the game.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Well, these are all suggestions, things that you could use. Okay. So let's move into the adventure now. And I'll do a little recap of what I think the splits in the adventure were. So by names, they were Encounter 1 and 2, and that was Infiltration and Springing the Trap, both of which, that was where you guys approached the base and made your way inside, past the first guards. And I don't know how much you guys may remember of that, but if you do remember, what did you think of that first part? So just a quick thing. The first one was, do you hide or not when the guards are coming? The second was, how do you handle the guards based on what you did?
Overall, the how they split it up, they split it up into like weird chapter things, and I think that really sort of took me out of it at times, because it was like, instead of this being like a story, it was like you did this part, and then you were done, and then you're out of
reached.
it. Yeah.
Would you like to save your game?
Yeah.
Yes.
I almost wish that they just didn't say anything, like they just kept going. But I mean, it felt like Star Wars at the beginning, I'd say.
I liked at the beginning how, it was simple for us, but if you were a new player or a new role-playing game player, it was very clear about, like, we're going to do a simple combat, and then, here's a chance to learn how to hide. And there were 3 or 4 things where they're like, it was pretty obvious, like, here's something new to try. But the idea being, obviously, if you keep playing this game, well, you'll not always just jump into combat. You'll think about deception. You'll think about hiding. All these things. I like that, even though it's probably a little, simple for us. I agree with Mike. With the starter set in D&D, for example, there were 4 parts, but that was a big adventure played over many, many days. To break up a one afternoon adventure into 8 or 9 parts did kind of feel like, it felt a little like checkbox railroady, and did take me out of the flow a little bit.
So as far as the way the adventure was set up, like, my first thing I wanted to do was, I was like, I want to jump into ATST, and no, it's locked.
Yeah.
But that's not really. Would that really be it? Like, would they have it locked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
You don't want someone stealing your ATSD.
So then who went out and unlocked it when we go to do the chase part?
Well, and that was when we got there, I was like, why is it unlocked now? There were a couple things like that.
Yeah.
I really wish it would have been a little bit more choose your own adventure. Like, I thought it would be really cool if we could, like, in the main generator room, like, you could cut the power and the station would go into emergency power, but all the doors would automatically unlock. To open up and unlock. I thought that'd be really cool. Like, as soon as I saw the generator room on the map, I was like, okay, yeah. If I was GMing this, I would do that. Like, that would be a fail-safe that would make sense in the Star Wars universe. And there was nothing in the book, but it's very detailed on the map. And it's like, and then when you flip the map over and you look at the landing pad, there's nothing in the GM's description of what he's supposed to read the crawl about the grates, and then you flip it over and you look at the access shaft. You see the access shaft on the map. It's very clearly labeled. So it's like, I don't understand where they can, like, have some choose your own adventure stuff and then nothing elsewhere.
Yeah, I thought for that first part and it leading into Encounter 3 where you see the droid, it was kind of odd because you start with, I'm going to hide so that the guards don't see me. And then the guards come out and the only option the book gives you is to attack them.
Yeah.
And that's it. You attack them. There's no allotment for bargaining, talking, any kind of interaction with them except for blaster fire. Yet right into Section 3, the next encounter, they only want you to bargain with the droid.
Yeah.
And so you don't talk to the people, but you're supposed to know that you're supposed to talk with the droid next, which to me was a little awkward. What did you guys think of that?
Like,
next
my
part?
go-to thing when we came to the droid, I'm an engineer. I have super high mechanics, super high computers. I'm going to hack the droid. Like, we just blew up a bunch of guys with a grenade. Why would I do a discussion with a droid? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I guess this
nothing
adventure
in the
assumes you're going
books
to
that says-
ask him if there's anything that you can mechanic on him, and then go ahead and do it. But why would you do that?
Yeah.
No idea. But
yeah, in fact, in hindsight, what they should have done is said to the GM in there, there's going to be 3 encounters before you get to the launch pad.
Yeah.
And we want the players to do 1 combat, 1 deception, or to try these different things out, make it happen. Because all 2 or 3 of those, the initial entry, the droid, the guards outside the launch pad, and there may have even been something else, you could have done 3 or 4 different things, but chosen the order that you did them in. Like, it would never occur to me to negotiate with a droid. I mean, I was like, shoot him in the head and keep going.
And honestly, I metagamed because as soon as he said restraining bolt,
right.
I thought of all the extended universe stuff that I'd read and about restraining bolts and droids not really liking them, that sort of thing. So that's why I was like, okay, ding, 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 clue for myself. But if I didn't know the Star Wars universe, I wouldn't know to say, hey, Mike, maybe you could do something like restraining bolt.
Yeah. The thing that bummed me out the most, I know you guys had something else you hated more than I did, but I got bummed the end. Which
what level of hatred did you
didn't bother me as much. I got bummed out when we did the optional, go explore the whole base. And as someone said earlier, we explored 6 or 7 rooms, and
we're almost,
we had like
we're
one
almost
combat.
there. I want to talk about it in order,
Okay.
and that's coming up. So after the droid, this is where you got to the launch pad. So outside the launch pad, there were the guards, the sentries, and then you got past them and out onto the launch pad. And what we had to do there was disable the shuttle, and this was all part of encounter number 4. So getting to those guards, and to me, part of this was the scale of the map again. And as JJ's looking right now at the map, we never flipped it over for the launch pad because it's on the main base side. So we never actually flipped it over for the detail of the launch pad, which JJ's doing right there.
And there's nothing on the other side that makes you think that,
And is there any guidance within the book about that?
And for me, it says the GM can put down the launch pad map for this encounter, but I didn't know this 1/4 was the launch pad map because we hadn't flipped it yet.
Right.
It was only when we got to the chase later that we flipped the map. So the launch pad was on it, so I kind of assumed that's what they meant. Bad assumption on my part, but it didn't say. It should have just said flip the map over to the launch pad.
reverse.
Yeah. But anyway,
and
so
again,
we got there.
looking at the launch pad map, we have access shaft is labeled. We have the launch, the ship itself, spacecraft control, and anti-air turret. Again, my first inclination was let's hack the turret and use it to blow up the ship.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why else is it labeled?
Because
So then, I would never had an inclination of doing anything shaft-like without it being labeled on the map. So it's like, if you're going to label something,
Not while you were
at
sober.
least
I will do nothing
yeah,
shaft-like unless it's labeled.
It's possible that Mickie might have had that thought. There was a lot of Wookiee talk.
He doesn't have any labels. Don't put a label on me, man.
Don't label something on here if you're not going to have some corresponding thing in the book to do with it.
The only explanation I can think of as to why they did it was so people, when looking at the map and asked, "What's that?" would have an answer. But that, to me, that's the only reason. But since so few things actually have a tag or a label, it seems to me they should have explained what they are.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we have the Axis shaft, the Nilos or the Nilos, whatever you want to call it. That's a shuttle itself. The anti-air turret and the spacecraft. Good gosh. But then there's all these boxes. Why not say what this is? Is this a power converter? What
is it a vacuum cleaner?
Yes.
Is it a fuel pump? Who knows?
Right. Now, as far as that went, the options we had were to slice into the shuttle's computer and disable its systems, to manually disconnect the shuttle's engines, or to barricade the doors and leave through the vents. Again, there's nothing in the narrative that tells you there are vents. So since we hadn't flipped the map over, we didn't know.
Even looking at this, there's no vents.
You would just assume access shaft.
Although that's where you would come in from.
Right.
That's the door.
Now, the door was different, I think.
I don't think so. I don't think there even shows... Both times, I don't think.
Another confusion. I guess this is another. I mean, this is even in hindsight.
Like they meant
sure.
for you to use the vents, but then they don't show the vents or give you any hint that there's vents or anything like that.
Now, this encounter with the guards outside of the launch pad was the first time we rolled initiative. Do you guys remember actually doing initiative? Because the first encounter we did, it was preset. What did you think of initiative? This was, you made a cool check. And people who weren't expecting a fight rolled against vigilance, but then that determined, based on your successes and what have you, who was up in initiative.
I mean, I liked it because I rolled really well the whole time for initiative. But I mean, it was fine. There's nothing special, but it was fine. Yeah,
it's just one of those that it's not in numerical order because there are no numbers, but the most amount of success.
Same idea. It was important in the early combats because they were, one-shot kills.
Okay.
We were able to. Important. Honestly, the first combat was, blow them all up with a grenade. Like, it was just comical how easy it was.
Yeah, it was. And
that's why
I wouldn't have put grenades on the character sheet myself.
I had multiple grenades, and we'd use them, and I kept preserving them, thinking there's this whole huge base we're going to explore. There's going to be a ton of combat. There weren't enough combats.
Warrant having the arsenal that we did.
Too much equipment for this adventure.
And did the lasers, blaster rifles ever run out of battery? Like, why not give us just 5 shots? Like, why even have a melee skill at all with the vibro knife?
I do think the grenades are a major problem. I mean, there were at least 5 between Mickie and me, I think, on our character sheets, plus we picked some up somewhere in the barracks or the armory or something, which is way too many for the amount of combat in here.
So, talking to the character sheets again, let's move on to the next piece, which was called the interlude. That's where we did the experience and the first time we built the destiny pool, the force stuff. So the experience, the character sheets had it built in. The character folios, it was flip the page to level up. And I think in general we agreed that was kind of neat. It was mentioned a little earlier. Does anyone else want to make another comment or two about the experience and the leveling up, the way the beginner set handled it?
I mean, it made it really easy that if you were a beginner, like they did the whole thing for you. They showed the 4 things that you could possibly level up. They'd show on the character sheet what that would involve. And then you could just pick, you could either take the 10-point thing or 2 of the 5-point things. And that was pretty cool.
And it makes me wonder with the regular game, I presume you are not limited to just 4 things. You probably get experience and you can level up any of your things, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But
they actually show back here, in the very, very back, the talent tree.
Okay.
And there's different costs. You probably could have taken any one of these, but some of these have prerequisites.
You're talking like me. Prerequisites.
Prerequisites.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah, level up was easy, and this is also where we got the Force, the light and dark side points, which that was my favorite part of it. I thought it was
got
a great
big kick
dynamic.
out of that. And I enjoyed it a lot, and hopefully it shows in the gameplay recording where I was like, I'm going to use a dark side point to add, and I like that piece. It was really interactive with the table using one pool of resources.
And that's key because it's, truthfully, it's always players versus GM.
Yep.
The players want to win, and the GM wants to challenge them.
Yep.
And this is a good method of challenging the players, really.
Yeah. And it also can flip to the other side, well, literally, because you flip the counter over from light to dark.
Yeah.
But I like the way that worked, in that if I kept using dark side points, I would run out. And then you guys could just leave it and not let me mess with stuff. But then when you decide you want to add a die to something or make something a little easier, you flip it over, and now I get a chance to do something again.
Yeah, but it
That was
definitely
really
lets
cool.
the GM control the pace of the game, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you know the story, you know where the hard parts are and where the easy parts are.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can try to make sure that they have no light point going into the hard parts.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. If they're having a hard time, you can make sure they've got some light points
Exactly.
before they go fight the
And
dragon.
it's one of those nice
And by
bluffs.
dragon, I mean Darth Vader.
I almost liken it to the D20 roll behind a screen for no reason, just to throw something out there. But you can bluff it like, do you want to add a light side point to that? You probably want to add a light side point to that roll. Something like.
Well, it also works nice with the
Convincing.
idea of the force, the balance of the force generally.
Yeah.
And the
It is
fact that
very
literally
cool.
when you turn one, it goes the other way, and you're trying to keep it in some kind of
It's
balance.
like we're playing Othello on the game table, which is kind of neat too. All right, so let's move on to what was encounter number 5. No, before we do that, this is where we're back to the one spot where we could explore. And we're on page 20 of the adventure book, and this was under next steps. And this is if the heroes want to explore the rest of the base, do this. And it tells the GM to go to page 28. And I will quickly read something here, and we're going to compare to the other side of the map. So on this page 28, where it tells me to look, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rooms or areas of the base that that have a description. And at this point, the characters have already been to the launch pad, the Nilos, and the garage. So at that point, we have only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more options, and the control center is one of them, which is the next adventure. So we're really down to 5 things, and the map has how many?
Like 17 things.
Right, so there are way more things actually labeled on the map that are not listed in the book, and that became one of our frustrations. You guys said, I want to go check out the
Kitchen.
the mess hall or whatever. Well, actually, that one had an explanation. But the kitchen off of the mess hall did not have a description in the book.
But it's
itself.
labeled on the map, and it's got detail on there.
It does.
It's fine to not have it in there, but don't put it on the map.
Yeah.
And even worse, don't have a big room that should be exciting, and then have us go in there and have there be nothing happen and no loot.
Yeah.
It's like playing a video game for 30 minutes, and you go in 8 rooms, you get no treasure, and you have one wussy little fight.
At least make it like Diablo, where you can bust open the trash barrel and get a grenade or something.
I mean,
right?
we went in the firing range. I was like, oh, we're going to get weapon upgrades. Like, there's got to be better guns in there or something. Not that we needed better guns. We were fine. But if I recall correctly, there was literally nothing in there.
No.
There were some people using the fire range, but we were
they
able
didn't
to
invite us.
in.
Yeah, they got locked in.
Yeah.
And I only did this because I felt we could use more of a challenge. You guys were doing a cakewalk. It says, if the GM deems it appropriate, there can be a group of sentries practicing in the training facility. So that's the only reason they were in there. It's not even part of that room unless the GM puts it there.
Yeah. This part bummed me out. And this is when I realized, I like the presentation, I like the dice, I like the system, but I wasn't loving the adventure.
It feels like, honestly, in my opinion, the same thing that's happening with video games now, where the designers had this grand idea, and they start putting in the necessary efforts to realize those ideas, and then it's like, okay, now ship it. Someone comes and says, we need to ship this now, and it's not quite finished.
Well, and I wondered exactly that because this is the same system from the same publisher that did Star Wars Edge of Empire, which was very, very well received and has a beginner box. And I have not played that, but I'm just curious, like, is that significantly better? And then this was the rushed second one.
Could be.
And there was really high demand for the Let's Play Jedis, which is the third one that's coming. Like, did this just get kind of pushed out too quick in the middle? I don't know.
As a starter set, you should be putting your best foot forward, but I think they tripped here.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Nice.
Hey!
So
I just think it's sort of lazy. Like it's like that you couldn't come up with 17 things.
And that was my point. Even if it just said in the book, there is nothing in this room except for chairs and a table.
I mean, at the very least, you could come up with, there's an NPC, there's a puzzle, there's a guy you have to fight,
there's
an item to pick up. Any of that you could have had in all those 17 locations, and it would have made it worthwhile going to them.
You could have triggered a laser field.
Now, granted, I mean, a veteran GM will be like, okay, yeah, you can do something like that with the main generator, like I said earlier, or you could poison the food in the kitchen and get back out and let the poison do its job. You could, like, a GM would allow you to do those things, but considering this is a starter set and it's supposed to be a handhold, hold our hands. I want my hand held, damn it.
And I want to make sure...
You're taking me to prom.
I want to make sure if I take a big idea like that and work with it, that I'm not breaking the next encounter.
Exactly.
Too, because the next encounter could... And that kind of did happen. One relatively medium complaint I have is there were parts in this where it said the narrative text assumed a certain entry into the room, the control room being one. And it says you go in there with your weapons drawn, but it also gave you the option of going through the ventilation shaft, which you guys did, and you're not barging into the door with your weapons drawn, but that's what the narrative says, so you have to paraphrase it. So we'll move on to that part, the fire, what they call Encounter 5, the firefight. And this was with the stormtroopers outside of the control center. Mm-hmm. And then the second group of stormtroopers came down the wall. I would say tactically that seemed to be one that was kind of fun for the encounter. Just the stormtrooper part. They were outside the door, you had to fight them, and then 3 more came down the hall.
You have minion damage, group damage.
Yeah.
By grouping them, it actually made them a challenge, which we hadn't seen up until that point. Because it actually gave them enough hit points to stand up to an all-out assault on them.
Yeah. It wasn't a one and done with the grenade again.
Yeah.
And then we got through them, and we got through the ventilation shaft and into the room. And at that point, you learned that the lieutenant had taken off. And then we moved into Encounter 7, which was the last piece, the chase, which I think probably shows in the gameplay recording and would probably continue into this discussion, was probably the part we struggled with the most. The chase of he took off with his AT-ST, we grabbed speeder bikes and the other ST, and we went off after him.
I feel like in almost every role-playing game I've ever played, the game breaks down as soon as you add vehicles.
Unless you're playing, I used to play Steve Jackson Car Wars. That was all about the vehicles. If you stepped out of them, you were dead. But yeah, I'm with you there.
Now,
add vehicles and it's tricky.
Now, we aren't getting paid by the Star Wars Age of the...
Oh no, we actually bought this ourselves. We have almost $100 worth of this product on the table.
So, in my opinion, that part was hot street garbage. And that made me go from, this is it has so many possibilities, to it just drove me insane to the point that I would never want to play this again. And it made me really sad because we were riding speeder bikes. 2 of us were in an AT-ST. It should have been a pretty cool part of the thing, and it turned out to be the worst. It was an awful, awful part.
Right. I have a feeling that if we were playing the full rule set, we screwed this combat up in a couple of ways that made it less fun. But having said that, we've all reviewed the starter set or the beginner game book, and there was no guidance to do it differently.
No,
so that's
there
their
wasn't.
fault, not ours. And having said that, the problems with this chase are so myriad, we don't even need to talk about them all. Like, I bet we all hated something different. Like,
Yeah.
you hated the fact that he was shooting backwards. Someone hated something else. I freaking hated the shot that, I hate the fact that I got shot once, my bike's down, and now I'm standing on the ground, and I can't do anything. I'm like, is someone going to pick me up?
I think
or have I done the game? Am I literally going to miss the climax of the freaking game?
We agree on the hatred there because that was my least favorite part. That if you took one of the speeder bikes to give chase, it was easy to shoot you, and then you're done. You're out of the fight at that
And it's
point.
a time, you want this sense of time matters. We've got to keep moving. So the ATST is not going to come back to pick you up, or if they do, it's not going to be realistic.
Right. But it's easier for me to say, yeah, he swings around, picks you up, somebody hangs on to the ATST's legs, move on, let's go.
I mean, to be honest, we could probably spend 15 minutes talking about that combat, but I don't know that it's
Like,
worth it.
I think it would have been better served if it had been more of a skill challenge, so to speak. More theater of the mind rather than just rules. Like, I think it would have been awesome if, the speeder bikes had, an energy lasso on it that you could throw at the ATST's legs to stop it, rather than just pewing it and never dealing any damage.
And they also gave no time frame for the chase, because it specifically says that the player characters could stop the lieutenant. They could intercept him, they could stop him from reaching it. But how? There's no, how many rounds does the thing need to be destroyed? There's no explanation there. So there's that. And then once you reach the communication station, it was very basic, and this is one I do want to bring up because of the way they put it in here, was when you reach there, you must stop him from sending the message. If they don't intercept him before he reaches, and that's the only part that says you could, he runs inside, locks the door, and then there's one stormtrooper outside to operate the laser cannon. And the PCs have 6 rounds from the time he enters to destroy the bunker, break inside, or find another clever solution. Now, first off, destroy the bunker. And we went back and forth on this.
It's not
Nothing
even
did enough damage against what the comm station's armor was, which was 5. Nothing did 5 damage. So that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, even if you used the ATST, you couldn't blow up the bunker. It was not even an option.
So then it said, break inside, and, well, whatever. And we kind of did that. There was a success on opening the door, but it had threats involved, so I left the door only open a little bit. And then, or find another clever solution. So no suggestions whatsoever. So we're going around the table. What do you want to try? What do you want to try?
That's what leads me to believe that it was rushed at the end.
Yeah.
It was just, they had these grand ideas, because if you flip over the map again, is there anything, Joe, about shipwreckage in that entire starter set?
No.
And why have it on the map?
My only thought there is at the very end, on page 28, I'm sorry, not page 28, I'm on page 30, missions on Onderon, on the moon. So just because of these few paragraphs, maybe it's leaving you a hook. That's my only thought behind it. It doesn't help well. And that would, for me, be the only other explanation for labeling all the stuff in the base, because you've taken it over now for the Rebel Alliance, and it's supposed to be a Rebel base now, which means eventually you might want to, if you get enough people there, you're going to need to staff the kitchen. Like, this is something players are going to do, mind you.
Right.
But
which they can tell you in one box for the GM, like there's stuff on here that you're not going to use for the following reason.
Yeah.
And that third part where it was like you can come up with something else. And then we would go over to like the comm dish, which is it's labeled, and then it was like each thing was like shot down one after another because it just, there wasn't any information, or it was impossible to damage the thing. Right. Like the comm dish apparently is made out of the strongest stuff in the world because there's no way to damage that. There's apparently no cables going from there to the you can.
Meanwhile, we inadvertently sliced a cable going into the garage somehow.
Yeah, right.
You did it. You were successful. Good job.
Yeah.
Right, and when we say on these things that we couldn't damage them, it's a function of you could damage them, but the soak and the way the mechanic worked, there was no net damage.
Yep.
I'm committing,
just like the D&D one, I tried to, as much as possible, play to what the book wrote, not to what I thought. And specifically for the communication station, it had 5 armor, and nothing did more than 4 damage. Therefore, you literally could not hurt it.
Now, did the vehicles, did they do extra damage based on how many successes, like the blaster rifles did?
Like the ATST could get a second hit, but they would be 2 4 hits, right? So it would be a 4 and a 4, and the armor is
because
5. So
per
it
the
wouldn't have
rules,
gotten through.
with the blaster rifle, you did 9 damage and then additional
The
1
plus,
for each
yeah.
success.
Nothing
then,
like that
Then
on the
you could
vehicle.
potentially damage if there were successes involved. But with the box starter set, that wasn't handled.
Yeah. Or it wasn't clear. So
So let's take a couple minutes and try and wrap up our thoughts on this. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Mike.
I think of this sort of like I think of the Phantom Menace as
that's not a ringing endorsement.
going into the Phantom Menace. I had so much hope because it was like
You had a new hope?
I had a new hope
Yeah.
that it was more Star Wars. I'm very excited. Only to have that hope just disappear as it went because it wasn't very well thought out or
Yusa guy's bomb bad.
Yes. You just got Jar Jar, yo.
yeah.
I will say I am a big Star Wars fan. I'm going to commit to reading. They've published a free follow-on adventure to this. I'm going to read, see if it might be any better.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get Mickey's attention. That was for you to come over here, not to read.
I don't want to go hang out with you.
You don't have to. You just have to come say bye in a minute.
I'm going to commit to reading the other adventure carefully to see if it might be better designed. And I am still especially because I have a $15 set of dice, I still want to try the Edge of Empire, which that one appealed to me more than this one in the first place. But having said that, this was disappointing, and my hopes are much lower than they were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would play the Edge of Empire. I don't think that I would be willing to record it.
I think I'd agree to that, yeah.
I think that amongst us, we could probably play it and get done with it in one weekend or something. But I wouldn't want to record it. I just want to play it to see if it can scrub the taste in my mouth of this, 2 thumbs down starter set.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really wondering if when I listen to our recording for, especially the third recording, if you can just hear the bubbling anger that is in my voice toward the end, because I drove home from that just so angry.
You weren't drinking at all. That might have been part of the problem.
I think that alcohol probably would have helped.
The alcohol did help.
Do you want to say anything about it yourself?
The alcohol did help.
Okay, Mickey says the alcohol helped. And I'll just echo what we've said around the table here, that it was a bit of a disappointment as a GM. It was hard to follow the adventure and lead the players to the next area. And that is essential for a beginner game. It has to have a flow to it from one space to the next to the next. I could see the reasoning why they did things, learning this part of the system, learning the next part of the system, baby steps into it, but it didn't flow. It was very stilted. It didn't feel natural to play it. I just said it didn't feel natural to play Star Wars. That's weird. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for us. I think overall we're disappointed in at least the adventure of the Star Wars Age of Rebellion, and I guess a good indication is I have to keep looking at it to remember what game we played. But the Star Wars Age of Rebellion beginner game was a bit of a disappointment for us, although I think we found some good things with the quality of the materials, the dice, some of the system of actually playing the game. But the adventure itself was, I think, a bit of a disappointment.
I mean, I had fun playing with my friends, but I think I would have had just as much fun playing Monopoly and recording it as if we would have played this game.
For what it's worth, I think. All right, you asked me to come over. So
I did. That was the idea.
So for what it's worth, I think that they're banking on the popularity and the dynasty of Star Wars, and this is just an intro. So they figure, nerds will pay $20 to learn how to play it, and they'll buy everything else and actually play it. Because the book itself is like 400 plus pages.
And it's like $30 or $40.
And they've released Edge of Empire. They've released hardbound supplements for every class. You know, there's a bounty hunter book. There's a I mean, there's a ton of material out in this universe.
So it's a business, and I think this was just instructions, and the actual game itself is probably much cooler. But unfortunately, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's going to wrap it us for. Good gosh!
Good
It's going to
golly, Miss
wrap
Molly.
it up for us here at the Stevens household. So we're just all going to say.
Bye-bye.
I do have,
See you
I do
next
have one
time.
thing I want to say though.
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
What's the internal temperature of a tauntaun?
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
You know, I'm
Lukewarm.
sure. So bad it's good. So bad it's good.
See, that pun
can't
there
say
was better than the whole game that we
That's
played.
it. Okay, we're done.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ruined it!
We started off with a favorable preview and began the first 2 play sessions with good expectations. We had a fair bit of fun through the first 2 episodes, then things unfortunately fell flat on the third. Thanks for joining us. The preceding podcast was brought to you by Shedcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.